Well, it's Friday. Welcome to Friday. I'm MFA Akosiaditi, and this is the AM show. I'm excited that we all made it to Friday and onto your favorite morning show, the AM show, live on the Joy News channel. And as usual, we shall serve you with some news just shortly. And as well, later, we shall bring you some sports updates. Haruna Mubarak would be on standby to bring you that. And for news review, Inisa Hussein, former MP Tamale. And also Professor Isaac Boydu, he's Dean Accounting and Finance Department at the University of Professional Studies, and Dr. Joshua Zato, Political Scientist and Policy Analyst, and as well Nanaya Sapon, Movement for Change, will be here to review all the big stories in the newspapers. And as well, later, and the biggest story today, rescue efforts for persons trapped in a collapsed mining pit at Kasute in the Echima Mpoano district, and with 7 dead bodies retrieved and 5 rescued victims in critical conditions. Meanwhile, President Mahama is scheduled to meet civil society organizations today on the illegal mining menace and the way forward. We delve into that particular issue. Also, government increases the producer price for cocoa to 3,625 per bag, or 58,000 per ton, and representing an increase of about 400 Ghana cedis per bag, equivalent to a little over 12% rise over the price announced in August. 5. Fair price or not? And does this now appease cocoa farmers? There's another matters arising up for discussion here on the morning show with our panel. And as well, it is Friday, and so Noella comes up with your favorite e-corner. You surely do not want to miss that. And so it's a Friday. Join the conversation with your thoughts and views via phone and on social media handles as well. But now you know all of our social media handles. Stay with us. We'll bring you the news shortly. Thank you for choosing us this morning. Let's bring you some updates in the news. And first, President of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs, Osajefo Osadieyo Ajimanbedu II, has dismissed calls for a state of emergency over illegal mining, insisting such a move is unnecessary. He made the remark shortly after being sworn in together with 20 others as a Chief Justice of the Court of Appeal. Presidential Affairs Correspondent Maxwell Agbagba has more.
A total of 21 new justices were sworn in as justices of the Court of Appeal. They include the Domahine, His Lordship, Justice Daniel Mensah, Her Ladyship, Justice Enyonam Adenyera, Her Ladyship, Justice Olivia Obin Owusu, a legal practitioner, Mrs. Franklina Adanu, and many others. In an interview with the media shortly after, President of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs and Domahine, Osajefo Osadieyo Ajimanbedu II, dismissed calls for a state of emergency to be declared over illegal mining, stressing that such a measure is not needed now. The new Court of Appeal justice also highlighted the call for responsible mining and vowed to press on with efforts to curb galamsey.
So far as I'm concerned, except at times I'm not in Doma, but I want to assure the people that so far as that area called Doma, once you are there, be sure that one day you'll be caught, and you know the punishment, minimum 15 years. Do you have to do that? So I'm calling on all Ghanaians that this is the only thing that our ancestors left for us, so we don't have to destroy the water bodies. We don't want to destroy our cocoa farms, and ensure that we do farming in the right way so that, we can all, be happy as Ghanaians.
So you think that the move is in the right direction?
Of course, yes.
A state of emergency?
No. It has not come to that. Let's look at how much, we garner in respect of mining. I mean, once you declare state of emergency, the question is who can do? If we are not able to get that resources, there will be a gap. How is government going to? So there's a need for us to do it. As for mining, nobody will argue that there shouldn't be mining. But it has to be mined responsibly. That is all the whole thing. People who are doing galamsey, we are destroying ourselves. There's a need to start. I want to appeal, especially as a chief. We, the chief, should not say we don't have the power. If somebody could do it, it's in the jurisdiction, and not allowing people to do it. Why can't you do it? In Doma, if you come there, I'll arrest you and give you to the police so that you'll be prosecuted. I want to appeal to everybody. They should ensure that the people should not engage in galamsey, because if you do it and you are arrested, you know the consequence for it. It will not be good for all of us.
He praised government's effort in the fight against illegal mining, noting that the menace has gone down.
I've been on this tool for almost 26 and a half years. Galamsey the illegal mining did not start yesterday. It's been with us for some time. If you ask me about my assessment, I would say now it's going down. You know why I'm saying that? If you look at some of the steps that have been taken, before we're not hearing about the people in the blue, the water gas and all that. We're not hearing all that, you understand? People have invaded the forest reserve. We're not seeing that. Before this regime came, I know for a fact, because of the work that I do, 9 forest reserves have been taken over. Now that situation has been kept down. I wouldn't stand here to say that galamsey is gone. It's still with us. But I believe that if you look at now the seriousness, I want to encourage whoever is in charge, the Minister for Lands, government, the people of Ghana, we should ensure that we nip this situation in the bud.
President Mahama says to rebuild trust, Ghana's courts must demonstrate in word and deed that justice is not compromised by status, wealth, or political convenience.
Criticism. Citizens have openly and sometimes harshly questioned judicial decisions. But I want to say clearly, criticisms of judgments is not the end of hope. It is the evidence of hope. It shows that Ghanaians still believe in the courts, that justice still matters, and that verdicts have meaning in their lives. What we must guard against is cynicism, the corrosive belief that the courts no longer serve the people, but only the powerful in society. To rebuild trust, our courts must demonstrate in word and deed that justice is not compromised by status, wealth, or political convenience. So to you, our new justices, I say, let your judgments not silence criticism, but inspire confidence in our people.
Also in the news this morning, the National Health Insurance Authority has announced plans to cover every illness under the scheme by 2030, with the NHIS currently taking care of about 95% of illnesses. The authority is banking on the newly established Medical Trust Fund and the soon-to-be-established free primary health care to make full coverage possible. At a stakeholder engagement with private health insurers, the NHI expressed confidence the goal is achievable. That's more in this report.
The National Health Insurance Authority has set itself an ambitious target to cover every illness under the National Health Insurance Scheme by 2030. Currently, the National Health Insurance takes care of about 95% of illness. With the Medical Trust Fund now in place and free primary health care on the horizon, the authority believes the dream of total coverage is within reach. At the stakeholder engagement with the private health insurers, Acting Chief Executive Dr. Victor Bampo expressed confidence the reforms will make the goal achievable.
We're having this stakeholder engagement so that we can share with them the new initiatives that this government is bringing forward, like the free primary health care, the Mahama Cares, to see how best we can work together to ensure universal health coverage, which is actually, universal health coverage means that every Ghanaian everywhere can actually access health care without financial hardship. And by 2030, we want to ensure that we have universal health coverage across Ghana. Government is thinking about end-to-end health coverage. So if you look at starting off with the NHI as it exists now, we nominally take care of 95% of all disease conditions. So there's the Mahama Cares, there's the regular NHI, and then there's also going to be the introduction of the free primary health care, which is looking at diagnosing some of these diseases quicker, screening people preventive medicine.
But the optimism was met with concerns. Acting Director of the private health insurance industry, Dr. William Omane Ajikum, questioned the involvement of telecommunication companies in offering health insurance services. He argued their activities are unregulated and undermine the private sector's ability to expand in the market.
There is a growing menace of some telecommunication companies partnering certain insurance companies to deliver some form of insurance that also includes a health insurance. These products that are being rolled out by these communication networks are not known to the National Health Insurance Authority. So the authority is sounding a strong caution to companies that are in partnership with these telecommunication companies that they must desist from entering into or offering products that has any component or semblance of health insurance.
The authority maintains it is on course to deliver universal coverage, but industry players insist tighter regulation is critical if the ambitious 2030 target is to be met. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Aklobotu, Accra.
Also, the Senior Staff Association of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital has expressed remorse and pledged to follow due process in refunding the 113,000 cedis judgment debt flagged by the Public Accounts Committee. This follows the hospital's failure to recover the amount from officers whose negligence led to two separate judgment debts, one involving the death of a patient after a medication overdose, and another over the exhumation and reburial of a body due to a mix-up in mortal remains. Speaking at the association's annual general meeting, President Jato Dong also noted that staff have exercised patience over the long-standing demand for the payment of a 13th month salary.
Management was at the IPAC meeting and they were taken on the 30th month. It's rather unfortunate that it's happened like that. We were not happy with what transpired, but we want to appeal that management will follow the due process for the money to be paid. Let me say categorically, Korle Bu staff have been patient for enough. The team, our other colleagues in the other institutions have taken it. What they paid was a quarter of what we were supposed to get.
The medical practitioners have been urged to embrace technology as a key driver to innovation to transform healthcare delivery in Ghana. At the 16th White Coat ceremony at the UCC School of Medical Sciences, CEO of Health Tech Ghana Limited, Daniel Makula, stressed that with technology rapidly redefining the global medical landscape, Ghana cannot be left behind. He called for medical education to deliberately integrate digital tools and innovations into the training of doctors and frontline health professionals to prepare them for the demands of modern healthcare.
During the 16th White Coat ceremony of the University of Cape Coast School of Medical Sciences, UCC-SMS, 156 third-year students were inducted to begin their clinical training for the 2025-2026 academic year. The ceremony was held under the theme, Empowering Doctors for the Provision of Healthcare in the 21st Century through Innovative Medical Education. In his address, the Dean of UCC-SMS, Professor Sebastian Eliassen, explained that the theme reflects the transformation of medical practice over the years and the need for future doctors to adapt to emerging trends.
Our theme reminds us that the practice of medicine in the 21st century is fundamentally different from decades past. The challenges of a modern healthcare landscape are complex, marked by global pandemics, rapid technological advancement, and an increasing need for patient-centered and collaborative care. You are also a communicator and collaborator, and as a communicator and a collaborator, you must work effectively within interprofessional teams and build trusting relationships with your patients. Don't go and treat and take. Treat and take is unethical, not even the relatives.
Chairman of the ceremony and provost of the UCC College of Distance Education, Professor Mohammed Anochi Adam reaffirmed the university's commitment to aligning its medical education with international standards.
We, as a university, are committed to ensuring that your clinical education is not only relevant to Ghana and Africa, but also aligned with the international standards, so that you are well prepared to compete, collaborate, and contribute anywhere in the world. As your transition to the clinical years.
Highlighting the role of technology in shaping modern medicine, the CEO of Health Tech Ghana Limited, Daniel Mokla, urged medical schools to embed digital innovations into the training of doctors and frontline healthcare professionals to better prepare them for 21st century healthcare delivery.
With our dizzying evolution of medical technology in healthcare delivery, aided by artificial intelligence, it is evident that medical education must necessarily infuse some of this technology into the training process of doctors and the frontline healthcare professionals. This will in turn enable early familiarization with your prospect of top-up training during your professional life as further technologies emerge.
From UCC, Abigail Lesol Nkoma reports for Joy News.
From the Central Region, I'll take you to the Wild West, where MP Superintendent Peter Lonchino-Tobu has emphasized that education is a central focus of his mandate. Speaking at the Accounting to the People Forum in Wichau, he pledged the government's commitment to completing the Dormon E block and establishing a technical vocational institute in the district's eastern corridor. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wichau.
According to the West Member of Parliament, Superintendent retired Peter Lonchino-Tobu is influenced and motivated by President John Dramani Mahama, who in less than a year at the presidency decided to account to the people. Superintendent retired Peter Lonchino-Tobu's presentation therefore focused on three words: what has been done, what is currently being done, and what could be done to transform the West District. So, the presentation therefore covers all spheres of the development of the people and the area, which included political appointments, education, health, roads, electricity, social protection, peace, security, and agriculture, which is the mainstay of the economy of the district.
1 youth, 1 acre was an innovation to direct the youth towards agriculture. And as we speak, we've gotten about 150 young people who have gotten into agriculture. And what is impressive is that we have some very dynamic ladies doing wonders in their farms. And I'm sure we have done, a few of them are around here to share their experiences with you. If you visit a lady's farm and you are a gentleman without a farm, you may go home very sad. The girls are doing wonders. I brought something we call the future today. If you want a better future, you start it today. I sponsored young girls and boys who are into business, into trade, to do something good for themselves. A lot of them are also around. Some are mechanics, some are carpenters, some are traders in the market, and some are doing wonderful things. I met a lady who is manufacturing soap from this project, and we created jobs for about 170 of them.
Superintendent retired Peter Lonchino-Tobu asserted that education will remain a central pillar and is disclosing how he disburses his common fund on needy but brilliant students.
I've spent 304,000 Ghana cedis. 304,000 Ghana cedis to pay school fees or support students to pay their fees. And I'm talking about 126 students. So when you hear somebody says, what is the MP doing with his common fund? I am supporting the needy but brilliant students to also go to school and come and become better than me. I recently provided 10,000 exercise books to basic schools. 10,000 branded exercise with a simple message behind that if Peter Lonchino-Tobu can rise to become MP, at the time that there was no electricity in my village, I go to school without sandals. And today, West is better. You can do better than me. So it's a motivation. It was not just about the book. And every year it's normal that I will try to have the MPs more. I pay for it. Government has not done more for the past 8 years, but I'm hoping that this time around things will change. If government brings a mock, the MP will say bring a mock. So at least our candidates can have 2 mock before the main examination.
He assured the people that the abandoned Dormo E-Block project will be completed and a new technical vocational institute established in the eastern corridor of the district.
President Mahama says, I should announce to you, the Dormo E-Block will be completed. They are going to add more facilities, and the Dormo school will become a full-fledged boarding school. You are not happy about that?
Company, Dr. Wisdom Dogwe, has welcomed the increment of cocoa producer price by 400 cedis. In an interview with Joy Business, he emphasized that this will help deal with the menace of smuggling.
CMC level, it's important to note that prices are impacted by market conditions. And when the minister assessed the market, the current market, he came to the conclusion that to better support our farmers, it is important to raise the farmer price by 400 cedis. So if you're a farmer today, starting from tomorrow, he said you will get an additional 400 cedis per bag. And if you do 10 bags, that's 4,000 cedis or 4 million Ghana cedis, the old money. Now, this new price, coupled with security enhancements, that should help address smuggling of Ghana's cocoa across the border. His Excellency the President is also committed, right, to safeguarding the Ghanaian farmers' income while taking the necessary steps to address smuggling of cocoa. Again, as CMC, we will pursue the best market price for the nation, taking into consideration the farmer price, and we will ensure that Ghana remains competitive on the global stage when it comes to cocoa trade. We are forecasting a yield of about 650,000 tons. Last year, we got about 600,000 in actuals. So I think the spike in warehouse deliveries is not a true reflection of what this year's crop will be. I believe it is due to hoarding of cocoa beans in anticipation of a producer price increase. So the beans that should have come earlier, that was being held back to take advantage of a new and also higher producer price. And it was important that hoarded beans got delivered timely, because the longer they held on to the beans, the more quality issues would arise, which could result in cocoa boards, QCC rejecting cocoa beans parcels. So as soon as the producer price was announced and the season opened, there was a rush in bringing in the beans, and that is the spike that you saw.
Well, to other stories, the government of Ghana has signed a 3 billion Japanese yen grant agreement with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to overhaul the inner ring road in Kumasi. The agreement signed today by Finance Minister, was signed on Thursday by the Finance Minister, Dr. Kaysel Atufosun, promises to drastically ease traffic congestion and improve mobility in Ghana's second largest city. Finance Minister Atufosun has been given more details about the agreement.
I'm privileged again to be here today to sign once again on behalf of the people of Ghana a grant agreement financed by the Japanese government, represented by JICA, to invest $20 million equivalent, about 3 billion Japanese yen, to finance the construction of a very important road network in the Ashanti region. I've seen a picture of what you intend doing here, and it's so beautiful. You see the fact that Santase runabout all the way to Ahodo is going to see a massive facelift. We are seeing some part of the road going to see almost about 4 lanes or 3 lanes in some cases. And I'm sure the good people of the Kumasi towards Ahodo and Santase and Ahodo area will be getting a massive relief. So on behalf of the people of Ghana, we thank JICA and the Japanese government for such a favor done us. And we want to say that we appreciate this partnership.
That's all in Business Update, and that's how we conclude the AM News for you today. Up next is AM Sports.
Time for sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, the Black Stars will camp in Morocco this weekend ahead of their penultimate 2026 Group I World Cup qualifier against the Central African Republic. Now, Ghana will hold 3 training sessions in Casablanca before Wednesday's match. Now, Coach Otuado expects his full squad in by Monday. He's called 24 players, including 2 home-based and 2 debutants. I think we could go through the list at the moment, and we've got, as you can see there, Lawrence Atizigi Benjamin Asare. He is the first home-based player in the squad. We've got Joseph Anan, Ali Duseidu, who has made a return to the squad as well. Gideon Mensah, Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Kojo Pepra Opon. He is the first debutant in the squad as well. We've got Caleb Yurenchi, Jonas Ajete, Ebenezer Anan, and then Alexander Jiku in defense. Now, in midfield, Elisha also is in the squad as well. Thomas Partey is also in the squad. Kwesi Sibo Prince also, he is the second home-based player in the squad. He plays for Midiama. And, of course, we've got Mohamed Kudus there for Spurs. Now, in an attack, we have Abdul Fattah Isahak, who has also made a return to the team. Joseph Pinto is in the team. And, of course, Christopher Bonsuba as well. Kamaldeen Sulemana is also in the squad. Jordan Ayew, the captain, Inaki Williams, and Antoine Semenyo. Now, still with the national teams, Ghana's Black Starlets, they chase Wafu Zone B glory tonight at 7 p.m. They face Ivory Coast, who beat them 3-0 in the group stage. Now, head coach Prosper Nate Ogum is confident his side can turn the tables this time.
There's still a lot to be done in terms of consolidation of so many factors, be it physical, the tactical elements, and then the point of mentality in terms of decision-making. And so far, it looks very promising, and we need to find the right.
We've played well so far, so we deserve to be there. That's why we are there. As far as Côte d'Ivoire is concerned, we've played them. We've seen them play. They've also played it. They've also seen us play. So I think basically, both teams are aware of how each team is going to play, unless one of us decides to pull a surprise in terms of structure, because we have varied our structure in some of the games. They've also done the same thing. Basically, I think that it will be an issue of character on the field of play, the mentality. They defeated us, and it's the second time to play them. So I think it's enough motivation for us to come in strongly and then make sure that what happened in the group stage, it doesn't happen again. It's a final game, and in final games, anything can happen. The tension, the anxiety, the anticipations, the expectations can sometimes let even players lose their focus on the football play. So to me, I think we need to focus more also on the character aspect of the game, so that we stay focused and be able to play our game.
The Ghana Premier League, Hearts of Oak will go top of the table with victory over Bechem United at the Nana Fosu Jiabo Park. Now, the Phobians remain unbeaten after 3 games with 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 goals scored, and none conceded. But head coach Didi Dramani insists that his team is still a work in progress.
There's still a lot to be done in terms of consolidation of so many factors, be it physical, the tactical elements, and then the point of mentality in terms of decision-making. And so far, it looks very promising, and we need to find the right consistency, and then we can try to be more sustained. I think it shows that we can play tight games, we can still come out with some good results. And then the important aspect is that we are in a league season, and it's a huge marathon. It's not just a race. We finish one game and we think that is over. It's a series of games, and there'll be very difficult situations. And so if your team can play and then keep clean sheets, I think it's a strong point to build on. The players are professionals. They know exactly what the tasks are around in terms of where we are in the season and in terms of where the club is at that moment. And so it's important to acknowledge that the players, and that's why we're training every day. We train because we want to improve our physical positions, tactical positions, and then train our mentality in terms of knowing what is at stake, what is at short stage, medium phase, and then the longer term programs. These players are one of the best professionals that I have ever seen, that we do a lot of video sessions, a lot of character sessions, and they know exactly what is at stake. They know how taskful this game is, and they know how we need to work hard and then to be able to come out with good effort, energy, good intensity, and then be able to have good performance, and then at the end of the day, be able to get the best outcomes that will continue to push the club to the best phases.
Now, Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zito is eyeing victory over high-flying Heart of Lions at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium on Sunday. The Lions sit at the top of the table with 9 points, having won all 3 games so far. Zito describes them as one of the best sides in the league.
Looking at it this way, I think they played 4 good matches with Asante Kotoko, and I think the points were divided, or maybe they may have the bigger share of the points. So it tells you that we are coming to meet a club that with a key factor of consistency, because the boys started the league, won the qualified to Africa, to the Ghana Premier League, and up to now they are the players playing. So you see, in terms of consistency, they are one of the best clubs in the league, and definitely playing them both home and away will not be easy. But we've set our target to win the league, and they are part of those we are going to meet. So at all costs, we should also do our best to win this game. And whoever have the right decision with his players will win the game. So I don't see that we are going to play. He's at the bench, I'm also at the bench. So it all comes to the attitude we are going to meet him with. I heard them talking. They say at all costs they win. So it makes us also change our effort, change our attitude. I just talked to my boys that they should forget about Africa for now. The most important thing is the league we are going to play. And the target we set for ourselves is to win the league. And we can't win the league if we don't win this. So it's part of those who should win, especially home matches. When we did the sizing on the table, you see that every home match should be a win. If there's anything at all, not here. So this is the mentality we are going to meet them with.
Yeah, so Kotoko with a big game against Heart of Lions. We can look at the rest of the fixtures for this weekend in the Ghana Premier League, and of course, the matches will begin today at 3 p.m. where Bechim United will take on Heart of Oak, and later on Saturday we've got Swedro All Blacks. They are up against Gold Stars. 11 Wonders also take on Young Apostles. And now on Sunday, of course, the big game there, Asante Kotoko take on Heart of Lions. We've got Brekum Chelsea who will be up against Basake Holy Stars. FC Samatex, they will lock ons with Eduana FC. Mediama Sporting Club will entertain Nations FC. Dreams FC, who are winless after 3 matches, they will hope for their first win of the season as they take on Vision FC. And of course, Hoho United will also battle Karela United. And that's your sports on the AM show. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Well, it's a contest of intellect, innovation, and the race for Ghana's clean energy crown. The Energy Commission's Senior High School Renewable Energy Challenge tasks students to apply critical thinking and problem-solving skills to real-world issues. Hunterman Girls SHS, one of the 2 all-girls team among the 6 finalists, is poised to showcase its solutions and claim the ultimate prize. Western Regional Correspondent Inathalia Kwanza reports on their preparations.
Hill of Lights in Sekindita crowded the black and white royals of a Hunterman Girls Senior High School are once again making history after clinching the Western Region title for the 2nd year running. They are heading to Accra to represent their region in the National Renewable Energy Challenge. What makes their journey remarkable is not just their brilliance, but the fact that they are not a STEM school, yet they continue to outshine the rest. At the Hunterman Girls Senior High School, the sound of innovation is alive. In their chemistry lab, 3 young girls, sleeves rolled up, lab coats on, are putting finishing touches to a prototype they call the solar vaccine storage machine.
They are highly motivated, self-motivated. They are always here for us to work hard to see the success that we chalk in this year's 2025 renewable energy regional competition. The best comes from the West, so they should expect the best from us. Yes, we are geared up. The girls are well motivated, prepared towards the finals. As you can see, they are busily working towards the finals. A few additions and subtractions we need to make to our project. This is what you can see they are working on. So we are well prepared and well poised for the finals. For this year, we are coming stronger than what we did last year. So we are hoping to emerge winners of this year's competition. But we can't go 2 consecutive times and play the same position. So we have the experience and we are well motivated to go in and win this year's 2025 Renewable Energy Challenge competition.
Their invention is more than just a school project. It addresses a pressing national challenge: how to store vaccines in rural clinics without electricity. Powered entirely by solar, the device could save lives in communities where healthcare is often out of reach.
We are very prepared, thoroughly prepared. We are ready for anything that might be thrown at us. We are ready. We've listened to the feedback from the judges and we've made so many modifications on our prototype, and we are definitely sure it's the winning prototype for this year. The first thing that made us stand out was our presentation. We are bold and we are confident. And another thing is our device is so unique. That is, it's geared to a particular region, that's the health sector, for the storage of vaccines. So this is addressing a real issue in Ghana, especially with the cholera and other diseases that because of it we might not be getting vaccines in the country. So our device is really helping the health sector and all the remote clinics and vaccine outreach programs. Yes.
For the school's headmistress, Ernestina Kankam, this is not just about science, it's about breaking stereotypes and proving that girls, especially from non-STEM schools, can rise to any challenge.
I feel on top of the whole world. I feel excited. The reason is not because we won, but the reason is because we are not a STEM school. And we are a girls' school. Normally, such things are in the purview of boys. They are naturally, skewed towards such things, technical things, playing with things, forming things, and all that. Interestingly, I think last year we won, and this year as well. And we always won with another girls' school, and this year is the same thing. So I'm excited, not just for my school, but for the other girls' school, because being girls, we are not normally prone to such things, but not being so good. So that is how I feel. Remember last year, we were giving the best presenters. Yeah, so people are wondering how come that the best presenters took the 5th position, but we are not judges. The judges have their criteria. But what is interesting is that we were spectacular in some area. It was about our presentation. I think this is the same thing. We are expecting the best. We have done what is possibly supposed to be done. We have explored all avenues. Finances mostly have been a challenge because, I mean, such things you need support here and there. We may have the support, but not what we expect. So as a school, I think that we have done what we need to do, and for that we are just hoping, not even hope. We are trusting God that the little that we put in will come out big.
The Energy Commission's Renewable Energy Challenge, launched in 2019, is designed to inspire innovation in clean energy among senior high schools across the country. This year's theme, Sustainable Energy for a Healthier Future, fits perfectly with Hunterman Girls' solar-powered solution.
We want it to be commercialized, implemented, because it's a very handy device that can be used, because it's not bulky and it's not expensive to make. So we want to collaborate with the government, non-governmental organization, and the health sector, so we can all work together, make more of this prototype, and be able to distribute it to remote areas, especially those that don't have electricity, because our prototype works on solar power. So even with the areas that don't have electricity, they can still store their vaccines. And so we want it to be commercialized all around the country.
Last year, Hunterman Girls defied expectation to place fifth at the national finals. This year, their confidence burns brighter. The team has modified their prototype, strengthening their presentation, and are ready to bring fire, as they put it.
My message to my girls, first of all, the contestants, these are lovely girls I have. They know I'm with them. Each time they go for competition, I tell them, we are closer to the sea, so I joke with them that if they don't make it, they should continue and go to the sea and not come back to school, and we joke around. But it's like a joke, but they take so much solace in the conversations we have, the closeness we have, the kind of attachment we have to them. And aside their learning to achieve something, I think that they're also affected by our connection. And therefore, my girls, well, all I'll say is that they know, they understand my language, so they should just go out there and do the magic and come. Yes, to the old students, parents, friends of the school, all we have to say is that Hunterman Girls is at it again, and that they should watch out for the best.
From the Hill of Lights in Sekondi, Takoradi, to the national stage in Accra, Hunterman Girls are proving that brilliance knows no boundaries, neither gender nor background.
To our competitors, just know that we are coming, and we are coming with fire. Aggies, our pride. Aggies, the Royals. Aggies, the school on the Hill of Light, Asia. Watch out.
With their eyes set on the prize, these young innovators remind us that the future of renewable energy in Ghana is not just bright, it is solar-powered. In Athalia Kwansa, Joy News, Sekondi, Takoradi.
All right, so welcome back to the AM show. Time for us to review what the papers are reporting this morning. But what are they reporting? My colleague Emefa Adeti is on our smart wheel to bring you what the papers are reporting. And then we come into we bring in our guests to then analyze the issues that are coming up. Emefa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kojo. Always a pleasure to do this with you. So I shall just quickly run you through the headlines of the newspapers. And this morning, we'll start with a daily graphic. And it's reporting how 77 years of truth, the daily graphic, is been reporting. That's a number of years. Daily Graphic, the nation's trusted voice, and the Chief of Staff was present over there. And as well in front of the Daily Graphic this morning, Kojo, the Energy Minister pushes for open bidding for power generation. Story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic this morning. One that is well making a lot of headways this morning is cocoa prices up again?
Yeah.
I'm certain you'll feature in the conversation,
Sure.
which I look forward to. If there's anything behind the daily graphic this morning, Kojo, I shall bring that to you as well. So government secures 3 billion yen Japanese grant to transform Kumasi inner ring roads. And earlier you were just telling me how much that is in how much?
Yeah, in dollars, it's $20 million. The finance minister said that earlier. So
Quite familiar with the dollars. I should get used to the yen as well. Let's go to the other papers as well. But before that, the Ministry of Finance receives 100 motorized sprays for farmers. That is as well reported by the Daily Graphic. Let's go on to the Daily Guide this morning. And between yesterday and this morning, the papers seem to be reporting nearly the same thing.
Yeah.
Daily Guide says, apologize and resign, minority to Sam George.
Yeah.
Still trying to kick him out of the kitchen because they see if it is hot, he should get out of the kitchen. The sad one this morning, though, is 7 killed in collapsed Galamsey pit.
Yeah.
Story is on page 3, and that will be the story of the Kassetie area. Some people as well have been rescued and
even that they are battling for their lives.
I heard so.
Yeah.
I heard so. Well, as well, nurses, midwives protest over 10-month salary arrears. Yesterday, we brought you that story on our social media platforms as well. We saw the minister there chanting together with them as well. And Kasim Chief Lord's Government and Newmont story is on page 6, I think. Thank you, Kujo, of the Daily Guide this morning. And quickly as well, KGL supports under 17 Colt Soccer Championship as well. In front of the Daily Guide this morning. We move on to the other newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher this morning, Africa's $1 trillion debt unjust. Akufo-Addo has been speaking, and you'd find the story as well on page 3 of the Ghanaian publisher this morning. Surely you must have heard as well that the president has been petitioned to remove Justice Yoni Kalendi as well, following that petition that came from Richard Jakpa as well, petitioning or asking the Criminal Investigation Department to investigate a former Attorney General. And story about KGL as well has been reported as well. This one might interest you. Metro Mass to operate 24 hours. Someone who likes to go to a hunter will be going very fast. That must be a hunter Pele. Let's see what's making the news in front of the other newspapers this morning as well. Right. The news center this morning, 300 students, 200 teachers awarded MTN scholarship. If it's interest of you, you can as well go and read that one. And finance rigged against Africa, also still in that speech that he has been delivering, the former President Akufo-Addo as well. Price per bag of cocoa increased again to 3,625 Ghana cedis. Kojo definitely will get into that story a little later as well. This one as well, you may be interested in. The Vice President launches 100,000 Young Entrepreneurs Ejumura program. You might want to take a read as well. You'll find it in the news center. Maybe that'll be all for the news center. The back page of the news center as well, 300 students.
So
200
more like giving
details
the story about
of what happened in front of the newspapers as well. You can just take a read if you grab a copy. The insight this morning, Julius Deborah urges media to back government's 24-hour economy as well. Veep, or the Vice President of Ghana, hails Mahama's Ejumura program as she did the launch. I'm sure she spoke there. Story is there as well. And maybe finally for the insight this morning, or maybe it's fine, let's just go to the custodian, Kujo.
But there was a story on the inside front page. You know, you spoke about the former AG's appearance at the CID. According to the insight, he dodged it.
He did, huh?
Yeah, it was on the front page there.
True, because when James Aveji was there, he indicated that there was no sight of him at the police headquarters or the Criminal Investigation Department. So I'm not surprised. But you can, if that story is of interest to you, you can take a read. It's in the Insight this paper. Ex-Attorney General, or former Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, dodges CID summons over Jakpa petition. It will be a good read. You should look into that as well. I think that will be all for the Insight. And quickly, the custodian this morning, sack Sam George over DSTV umpires. The story is on page 3 as minority has been demanding and asking the president as well. Akufo-Addo seeks $1 trillion debt relief for Africa. if that story is of interest to you as well, you can take a read. And Tano North MC denies complicity in Galamsey operations. It's a story, if you want to understand properly, you can as well find it on page 5 of the Custodian. And as well, Kojo will probably just look into it and give you details as well. The Custodian as well is reporting how the nurses and midwives as well were the Ministry of Health seeking for their 10-month salary. That'll be all for the Custodian this morning. It would also give you the details of the story that came up in front of the paper as well. Let's do the BNFT, Business and Finance Times, which will be our last paper this morning. AI innovation must anchor global communication, and as well, cocoa farm gate price are buying 400 Ghana cedis, and that will be a little over 12% rise, and it makes it 3,625 per bag. If you don't believe the story at once, the BNFT is reporting it. You shouldn't believe it. Government seeks to woo upstream petroleum investors as well. That's it for the BNFT. And of course, we cannot wrap if we don't bring you my Joy online. And so, Joy News uncovers, and this is our top story, Joy News uncovers Chinese-backed Galamsey on River Bissy despite MC's denial. So this will give you a better detail to the story that the previous newspaper actually reported as well. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, you don't want to miss it. It's happening later this month in October. And some OMCs increase fuel prices with diesel selling at 14.18 per litre Ghana cedis. You want to take a look at that.
Check that story.
Which one of them?
Debt restructuring was my darkest hour.
Absolutely. In fact, some minutes ago, it was our top story because I think the former president was quite honest with that one. You want to take a read because he details why that amounted to being his darkest period when he was president. It's quite a good read. You want to go on there as well. But that will be all for the headlines. Maybe quickly as well, the City Newsroom, Mahama to meet CSOs on Galamsey fight. That will be featured today in the news review whilst we prepare for the outcome of that particular meeting. Kojo and your panelists, I look forward to the review.
You see the way I'm smiling?
Are you not?
You look too beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a good way to start the
This
day.
is exactly how I'll be walking out of the studio for you to do your work.
Stay there. All right, so that's MFA Adeti there with a wrap of what the papers, have been or are reporting today. Let me then come into the studio and introduce to you our guest for the day. Professor Isaac Bodi is Dean Accounting and Finance at the UPSA. Dr. Joshua Zato is political scientist and policy analyst and lecturer at the University of Ghana. Nana Yao Sapong is with the Movement for Change. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning. That's all good.
Good.
Okay. I mean, today the issues are just too plenty. So your reflections will be reduced to a minute each.
No problem.
Honestly, let's start from you, Dr. Zato. What caught your attention this week?
Oh, there's a lot, but look, I will want to start with the story on Joy News, the one about Kufado saying his darkest hour was
debt restructuring.
Sometimes we think policymakers are robots. Sometimes we think policymakers are robotic. Or sometimes we think that they don't know or they don't feel it. For me, it's always good when you hear policymakers tell you what they personally went through in making such tough, difficult decisions. So for him to confess that it was his darkest hour, because look, everybody, there's nobody that can come out and say that you make such difficult decisions on your whim. But the problem is that when you are voted into power, you are voted to make these difficult decisions. Because sometimes as a president, as a leader, you face what the literature refers to as wicked problems. The problems are really wicked because sometimes it's even difficult to define, it's difficult to solve, and they're necessarily wicked because sometimes you don't even know where to start and where it ends. And everybody has said that the economy took a hit, and you saw that the protests against the debt restructuring, what the country went through, and look, to say that the debt restructuring and its reactions to that contributed to the defeat of the NPP will be an understatement. It did. But then to also, now we can then also say that that debt restructuring has also helped to improve or stabilize the finances of this country now. And of course, the professor of finance and accounting is here. He may tell us more about what he did. So it was a difficult decision. It was a painful decision, but it was a necessary medicine to take. You know how when we're sick and when we're kids, you are sick, and your parents know that the medicine they are going to give you, you will cry, but they give it to you anyway. Because they realize whether it is quinine or whether it is kakadu, the one they will put. They had to do it. And it was like, so look, for me, I'm hoping and praying that one day His Excellency Nana Adongo Akufo-Addo will publish his memoirs. And there he will tell us the behind-the-scenes stories, because they were live stories. We saw this happen. And this is good. So I'm happy that, look, he's finally talking about it. As a country, the only thing we can do that we can hope and tell ourselves that let's make sure that we never get there again. Let's hope that our finances and our country never takes us to a place where we have to do another destruction. A lot of wealth was lost. A lot of people suffered. People paid dear prices. Some people even died. It was difficult, but, and I'm happy the president said it was his darkest hour. So that people will not understand that those decisions were not made on a whim. Those decisions were not made because they were easy. Those decisions were not made because they were simple. It was difficult. And I pray and hope then that our leaders, whenever faced with such difficult decisions, will not shy away from it. Will not shy away because of political calculus, but will always put the interests of the nation first. Today, our finances are looking relatively better, partly because of those difficult decisions. And I'm glad that he is today looking Ghanaians in the face and looking and saying that it was his darkest hour. He's not asking for forgiveness. He's not saying it was easy. He's not saying that ignore it, no. But he's saying, letting you understand that it wasn't made on a whim.
All right, that's Dr. Zato's reflection for this week. Prof.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to your viewers, my colleagues as well. My reflection is on the Ghana Statistical Service report, which was released on the 1st of October. Per my background, it is difficult to criticize report of any individual academic work or a group of academic work. Difficult to do that, but only provide recommendation for further improvements, and that's what I do. If you go through that report in page 5 and point 5 of that report, it states that the steady drop of inflation from 23.8% in December 2024 to 9.4% in September 2025 shows a sustained shift in prices, and that signals that Ghana is firmly on the path to macroeconomic stability. Those words shouldn't have been used. And a balanced interpretation should have been Ghana has achieved encouraging this inflationary momentum. The short-term prices pressure are surfacing.
But interpretations are subjective, not so.
Yeah, if you look
how you will interpret something is different from how I will.
I will come to that. There were the numbers, and that should tell you. If you look at the numbers that we're seeing, year-on-year drop from 21% to 5% in September 2024 to 9.4% in 2025, year-on-year basis. A sharp drop. All right? Good. From 21.5% in September, year-on-year basis, to 9.4% in September. Is the lowest in 4 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, for 9 months, we've seen that. Now go into the figures again and check month-on-month basis from August to September.
This year?
The same year, yes.
Okay.
You see an appreciation.
Of the prices?
Negative 1.3% to 0.9%. It tells you one thing. In a short term, you're feeling the heat. The prices are high. That's what it means.
In terms of
if you take
from
year,
August to September,
yeah,
the prices are increasing. That's what you mean?
Yeah, in real terms.
Okay.
In real terms. You see the household will experience fresh cost increases. Because you are moving from a negative figure of 1.3,
which means prices were low,
to a positive figure of 0.9.
Increment.
Good. So on year basis, you see a sharp drop. But on month basis, you see an appreciation. It tells you household so will feel the heat.
But it still tells you that things are better today than they were September 2024.
It depends on how you do the comparison. That's why I said I had a problem when they stated in their intro, page 5 and point 5 in that report, it tells you that Ghana is firmly on the path of macroeconomic stability. Well, within a short term. So we need to be clear with our analysis. You could have said, well, we have, over the period, achieved encouraging disinflationary momentum. But within the short term.
But, Prof, if for 9 months we've had stability over, say, 8 months, because you say, if you look at the real figures, there was some increment between August and September. I mean, that's just an outlier. 1 out of 9. Can't you say we have relative stability?
So they did well by giving from December, from last year, January. Go and check the month-on-month basis and check year-on-year basis. That's what you have to. Because you don't put the figures for nothing. So when you are reporting, my issue is that don't only focus on the year basis.
Okay.
Also make comments on the month-on-month. Then you have the full story to be told. That's all that.
Okay.
Is on.
All right. Let me bring in Nana. Yeah, Nana.
Yes.
Your reflection.
But just a quick one to Doc.
To Doc or Prof?
To Prof.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, they are all teachers. And when you have marked a script and a student has gotten 95 and another has gotten 98, it's either it's excellent or it's good. It's dependent on your interpretation of the marks gotten. That is the overall. And when they have marked scripts, I do not think that after they have marked each question, mostly we answer 3. I do not think that they put the analysis on each question that they have marked. But after they are done, it is the cumulative that they interpret. And from the way Prof has spoken, you would understand that the statistical report has always given the data breakdown on monthly, but its interpretation in its conclusive nature has been very collective. And you understand me. So it's, as you have said, it's subjective. Interpretation is subject to the person who is writing the report. At the end of the day, the inflation has been good, and I think he has admitted it. At the end of the day, I think that lives are getting better. What we should be encouraging is that the individual citizens, the nationals, who are in our markets and are operating, should be nationalistic enough and patriotic enough to make these things, these figures and percentages indeed reflect. Because government cannot force them. The numbers are good. The figures are good. There is stability. The forex is good. So it is up to us to encourage our nationals that be patriotic to yourself and do the right thing.
But is the forex really good? They are getting to now over 13.
At least 13, it is better than 17.
17.
So let us be, let us encourage the market that in as much as government cannot tie your hands to bring your prices down, be real, be honest, and do a good thing by making it reflect properly so that we all live a lovely life. But let me take you to Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is still for the fixed time. And I'm reading from the Basic English Bible. For the vision is still for the fixed time, and it is moving quickly to the end, and it will not be false. Even if it is slow in coming, go on waiting for it, because it will certainly come. It will not be kept back. And on this note, I just want to wish Alan John Kojo Tremantin a very happy 70th birthday.
Oh,
and
his birthday is today.
yes, his birthday is today.
Okay.
And we thank God for his life. He has been a blessing to Ghana and to Africa and to the world as a whole. I mean, with most of the policies and programs he introduced, including the African Continental Free Trade, and that has helped put Ghana on the global stage.
Will he still be running for president in 2028?
And of course, the other many programs that he has done, including the automobile development policy, the African wear you are wearing, if you remember, when the Zato and Co, everybody's wearing one. When it was almost collapsed, he revived it through the stimulus programs that they did. And so, today is 3rd October, and you should mark it. And every member of the Movement for Change should mark it. It also has coincided with a very important date on our calendar, which I have not been permitted, because I just got the news while seated here. I have not been permitted to put it out. But it also coincides with a very significant calendar on a date on our calendar.
Your anniversary.
Which will soon come out.
Your anniversary.
And I think that
is it your
God has been kind to us.
Is it your
3rd
anniversary?
October has been a blessing to us.
Will he be running in 2028?
I mean, we will not want to destabilize a government. We will not want to declare an up-down approach. We will not want to break structures. We have our own calendar we are moving.
If he will be running, it's different from you. I mean, will he be running in 2028? That's it.
The point is whether he is running or not. We have a structure.
Okay.
And the structure we have has not permitted that. We are not running a top-down approach.
Okay.
You understand me? So we will not be putting we will not put the cart before the horse. You understand me? So it's his birthday.
Well, maybe I'm sure, because you are not. Is Movement for Change the third force in the last election? They weren't, right?
Whether we were the third force or
they weren't.
What is your understanding of the third force?
No. So maybe you are doing your research to see whether or not you have to come or not. But that's
research
to understand whether or not you.
How many of the so-called political parties have structures and have policies being propagated and being pushed than we have? The NPP are here.
What policies?
Oh, you don't know? You've not gotten a copy of our Great Transformational Plan?
What policies have been?
As young as you were, we were the first political organization to put out a plan.
Okay, all right. I hear
put out a plan. And of course,
let's celebrate the big man.
Yes, I mean, so
happy birthday to
Alan,
him and Joe Tremantin.
Yes, Alan John Chief Kojo Tremantin.
Okay.
Say Kojo Chief. We wish him well. It's his 70th birthday. We pray for God's blessing upon his life. And please, when you are praying, always pray with Habakkuk 2:3. That is one of his favorite verses.
Okay.
It will surely come to pass. And it was that reason that Zato is in white. Initially when he saw me, he was like, why are you not wearing white? I said, don't worry. We are celebrating a colorful day. It is 70th. And so we just want to be more colorful. So if you are in white, we will welcome you to help us celebrate.
All right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. That's Nana. He wants to be a bit mischievous. I can see you, but yeah, it's fine.
Is he in white or not?
It's fine. Let's move on.
Is he in white or not?
I wanted to say
now,
Zato, I wish Alan a happy birthday.
Honorable Chief Alan Tremantin, I want to wish you a happy, glorious birthday. I pray that God will protect you and preserve you. And I pray that when you have that big happy birthday party, you will invite me, because he told me that there will be free booze and food. So please,
that money
you see, you said
I'm
wishing him the guy. You are tackling me still.
Let's go into the papers. Now, let's start from the page 13.
Oh, you see, Prof is saying that I have not invited him to wish. So, Prof, wish your brother a happy birthday.
I wish you a happy birthday.
Let's start from page.
But will he invite me to a party?
You are always welcome, my brother.
That's not what I'm saying. Will I get an invitation?
Aside P2, what else?
Will I get an invitation?
You get.
Thank you. Tell Solomon. Solomon is the chief mischief. He will do this and he will invite me. His brother Solomon, the two of them. So I'm waiting for that invite.
Could you?
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's start from page 13. Now, cocoa prices are up again in the daily graphic. It says the government has increased the price paid to farmers for cocoa beans at the farm gate from the existing 3,228.75 pesos, a bag of 64 kilograms, to 3,625 per bag, with effect from today. So today, when farmers go to sell their cocoa, they're having close to 400 cedis increment on a 64 kg bag. Yes.
You see,
I mean, that's what we call for, right?
No, you see, there are certain things that I've said this, and so now we say it. Governance is the continuum. And so when you are governing a country, you must understand that there are certain fundamental things you do. When you make promises to the people, especially when you are a legislator and a policymaker, those promises must mean something. They must. Because if not, this country, we are trying to give policymakers and politicians a leeway. We are trying to justify whatever they've said, even whether they mean it or not. We are already seeing it in the Galamsey fight. That there were cabinet members now today who made decisions, who stated categorically what they think will end the Galamsey. Today we are being told that they were independent decisions. We have the Minister of Finance, who was at one time most ranking member of finance in the House. So he knew everything about cocoa pricing and policies. He knew. Became the minority leader. Again, knew everything about this. He hails from a cocoa producing area, right? So there's nothing about the economics of central. Well, if not the constituency, but the central region produces cocoa. Yeah. He's part of the delegation of NDCAP's from central region. That's the broader point I make. If not his, so he knew everything about the economics and the finance of cocoa. He did. Yet he stood in the House and said he promised farmers 6,000 cedis. He did say that. It should mean something. Where is the 6,000 cedis you promised them? If today we are told, and you see, the economic indicators we told are good.
Wasn't it the Agric Minister who made that promise of the
No. And during his vetting, he also made the
Finance Minister.
Yeah. There's record to show that he said that even the government, look, we are told the inflation is coming down, so it means everything's are good, right?
Yeah.
GDP is up, that's good, right? Cocoa, gold prices are up, is that not good? The city is stabilized. So, I mean, there's a professor of finance here. I don't want to say things that may be wrong. So it means that if you read this narrative, it means that the economy is doing good. The economy is doing better. Far, far better than they say, because we were told they inherited a criminally managed economy. Why can't you, with all these good things, give the farmers what you promised them? It's a very simple thing.
But
if
you explain that. I mean, I spoke to the Cocoa Board CEO, and he explains like you're explaining.
Yes.
That the fundamentals of the economy are becoming better. So, for example, this money that they are paying to cocoa farmers today can buy more than it could a year ago. And you're also alluding to the fact that things are becoming better.
I don't want to suggest that. They saw this coming and you made a solemn promise to cocoa farmers.
They saw what
are you doing? You were managing the economy. You said that, when we come, we'll give you 6,000. There's a cocoa farmer sitting today somewhere in central, western, Ashanti region who took your promise to the bank, who understood and believed you that you were a truthful man, you were a person that I trust. There's a cocoa farmer who believed that. What you are not telling the cocoa farmer is what we say is grammar. We are not just trying to justify your failure. It's easier on one side to justify your failure. You promise the 6,000, and I'm saying this because if we allow such things to go ahead, then it becomes easier for policymakers to promise, somebody say heaven and earth, and then when they can. But remember, a politician always has a justification for what he's not supposed to do. It is the first lesson in Machiavelli. Machiavelli says the prince has absolutely no reason not to keep his word. You can always change your word, be whatever you are. In order for us to bring honor, nobility, respect into our body politic, we must make sure that policymakers, when they make these decisions, stand by them. You are saying something about the economy, and I will go back there. Look. Today, we are told all things are going good. Last year by this time, if you were living in Tumu, if you're living in Wallenja, if you live in Charlotte, if you live in Sakai, and you sold a bag of maize, one bag of maize, you can buy one bag of NPK fertilizer. Do you know that? If you sold last year, August, September, if you sold one bag of maize in Tumu, one bag in Charlotte, in Kunchoko, and this, you could buy one bag of fertilizer.
How much was the maize then?
The maize, then I don't know the exact prices by then. It was about 500 or 600 or so. You could buy one bag of MPK. Today, as I speak to you, a bag of maize is selling in Tumu, is selling in Wallinger, is selling in Sakai about 350, 400. Yeah. A bag of NPK fertilizer is about 550 to 550 Ghana cedis. One bag of maize cannot buy one single bag of what? Fertilizer. That is today. That's the reality. Buffer Stock has just said that they are going to increase the price, the farm gate price of maize to 450 cedis for the producing year. Even that still cannot buy you a single bag of what? Fertilizer. Those are the realities we're talking about here affecting food and going. So for me, when you promise cocoa farmers, I just hope that cocoa farmers will understand. There have been protests. Remember, some said they will export, they will smuggle it to Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast. Others said that they will turn their farms into they will send to galamseyers. Others said they will send their farm into other. Please, I'm pleading with the cocoa farmers. Do not punish the rest of Ghanaians because of the actions or inactions of a few politicians or the government in power. Look at the national interest. Put the national interest at heart. Don't smuggle your cocoa to Ivory Coast. Do not give your farms to galamseyers. Do not turn your farm into other non-food crop commercial fashion. But then, please, government, whatever you do, try to keep your promises, because a promise to a poor farmer is a sacred promise. When you don't keep those promises, your credibility comes at stake. So I want to see a period where, I know we struggle. So the last time it was 120 cities, today is 400 cities, so that's about 500 cities. We still have about 5,500 cities to go. I want to see a time when you will keep this. When we give farmers, policymakers a leeway to do and don't keep their words, it becomes dangerous for this country.
Okay, I'm grateful to you, sir. Now, Professor Abodi, the last increment, the first increment they did.
Please, I just want to confirm. I've just got this that a bag of maize was 600 to 700 cedis last year, but around in Tumu, around that. But today, it's about, as I said, it's less than that. So as you can see, it's very important. Today, it's about 350 to 380. Okay. That is even if you get a buyer.
Okay. Professor Abodi, now the last increment they did over last year's prices amounted to 4.07%. And then they've added 12.27%. That's just in 10 months of their governance. I mean, isn't this something that we should commend government for?
Yes. Let's look at some data here that I have. Ghana, we have 3 ways of getting funds from outside. We have cocoa giving us, contributing to the economy. We have gold, we have oil, and we put other things together, other exports. So when you combine these items together, that should give you your total export over a period of time. But we have seen cocoa as a traditional commodity that we get more revenue from. Now we have gold also taken up, and then we have other export as well. I don't know whether we have the chance of checking the summary of economic and financial data of BOG, the recent report in September. Interesting development in the area of cocoa contribution. Last month, Cocoa Board came under a lot of attacks in terms of giving the fair prices to cocoa. I don't know whether it was last month or 2 months ago. We had threats from the producer, cocoa growers, farmers. I don't want to believe that the increment is as a result of the threats.
So that the last increment was announced in August. Yeah, and we are in October.
And what was the figure?
So per ton, or the 64 kilogram bag was 3,228.75 pesos.
Good.
Yeah, that was in August.
That was in August.
Yes. Now it is 3,625.
And we are recording what,
12.27%. Yes.
Change.
Yes.
Good. You see, we shouldn't allow people to mourn or to argue before you give what they deserve. Sometimes when we have some of these changes in prices and the minister comes out to tell us, they should also be able to explain why the upward movement. I don't want to believe that because farmers threatened of smuggling this cocoa beyond our borders, that probably might have fueled the change in price. I don't want to believe that. But the point is that always give the laborer the fair wages. If you think someone deserves an amount, the person should not be complaining before. The same thing is happening to the gold board. The same thing is happening to gold board. Those who produce are also finding other means of strength because the price they're giving to them might not be the fair prices. So we should be careful about this. Anytime we want to change the price that we give to certain key people, we should be careful. Today, we've come back to the exact price that we've been talking about. I don't want to believe that it could be as a result of that. But the good thing is that, yes, farmers will be smiling at this point. We need to still continue to advise our farmers. Now look, beyond all that we talk about, don't smuggle the good. Don't send it to Burkina. Sell this product here, regardless of all the challenges. Sell the things here, because it is out of this that we can improve our export position. So, regardless of the prices, we should be able to find this market suitable and sell to government. But then, our institutions must watch and must be careful. When some of us, we keep talking, not that we want the government to fail, no. But there are times we give this pressure to this administration so that when they're even making mistakes, they can learn from what we also give it to them. We criticize over a period. Gold board, we've said a lot about gold board. The fact that the price they're giving to those the miners, too small. They should do something. If they don't do that, they'll find other means of sending the gold product outside. And that should not help our export position. Look at the figures we are recording. Check the last financial data. You will now see clearly, in terms of export, how much we are making in this area. And when the price of commodities are up in the market, we benefit because the production and the prices will determine how much revenue that you make. And we should...
With your background as a finance person, if a politician promises to, say, pay price per 64 kg at 6,000, like Zato said, must it be something that if he wins power, he can implement from the word go? Or it can stagger, like we're seeing? Probably by the time they end their 4-year term, they could have gotten to 6,000. You could help us understand. Do you do it at a go, or you stagger the increment to achieve the target or the promise you give the farmer?
You know, now we have become sophisticated, Ghanaians, in terms of our voice. Now, if you're looking for power, you cannot just be on the platform and say anything. They will hang you. Whatever you say, now they will hold you accountable to whatever you say. Now, people are careful. Now we are referring the president to the previous manifesto's promise that he gave. 120 days, I will do A, B, C, D. So when we are referring him, or president, sorry, to those promises, we are fair. Because a promise that you made, we had our previous the current finance minister, years ago, and the tapes are all there. The comment and the summation he made on price of gold, and what he told the cocoa farmers, and what is happening today. So if you don't have a plan, better not say it at all.
Okay.
Have a plan. If you want to stagger the changes in price, state it. If the conditions are prevailing, in the market, like what's happening now, if there's a change in price, explain why the change in price. If you are giving this amount to cocoa farmers, tell them why it is so, when the wheat prices are also increasing. So it's fine. It's a fair comment that you may have a plan how to implement a policy.
They haven't. Give us a time. I'm only asking that from your experience. Is this something that could be happening?
That is why anytime you are making a promise, I said, it might not be politician.
Okay.
It could be for a background. Anytime you want to implement a project, we have ways of checking the stability of that promise, that project. The timelines, the how and when are very important, critical to any policy you want to enact.
Okay. You know, Sabo, I mean, government says we will listen to, okay, the government, when they increase the initial, or they announce the initial increment, farmers threatened to sell their farms to Galamseys, to smuggle. Government says, okay, now I'm giving you 400 cedis more. Good news or not?
Absolutely, Kojo. Let's start from this way. I do not think that this is the first time that farmers have threatened to sell or smuggle their products. And I tell you,
we know where we come from. So
Côte d'Ivoire is very close to us. You understand? And so even if it is a cent higher than Ghana, they will smuggle it. And once they are determined to maintain a particular position on the commodity ladder, whatever they will do to attract our farmers to sell their produce to them, they will do. Galamsey is part of the issues they are fighting. And I think that Cocoa Board has come on board and it's helping to deal with the issues of Galamsey. Initially, when there was not even Galamsey, you would notice that farmers, some of them were even cutting, if you go to the Bono areas, when cashew came up, and cashew was highly prized than cocoa, I think so, some time back. Almost all the cocoa farmers now started, you know, leaving their cocoa farms to grow cashew.
This could be happening in the western region.
Yes.
Where people are shifting to rubber.
Are shifting to rubber, yes. So it is not as though they are threatening. They just look at which market they think would sell better. It is up to us for us to be able to educate them and encourage them to maintain these farms, all right, and to do better. And that is what the current government is doing. If you had read in detail the communique that was put out by Ato Folsom, you would notice that the talks about the support they get, the support they give to farmers. He explained the supply of free fertilizer and insecticides and the fumigations they have been doing. Talks about the free flowering they have been giving out. He's even talked about the fact that one of the issues that has affected cocoa growing areas has to do with their scholarships. You understand? I have lived and worked in a cocoa growing area. I have lived and worked in Kukum in the Ahafu area, where all the rural banks there, our backbone was the cocoa farmers. When it is around this season, you see them in town all over with their money. Now, you will notice that these farmers, their children do not benefit from the scholarships. And they have put in measures to ensure that the proper farmers and stakeholders of cocoa benefit from these scholarship schemes. And these all adds up to the prices indirectly. And of course, there is a finance person here. He would agree with me that it is not only the prices they pay to the farmers, but the things that come to the farmers. And the farmers themselves and the people that are supposed to deal with some of these incentives that are given to farmers have to be patriotic enough. Because some of them receive these free supplies and they want to sell. But these are all contributions that are supposed to add up to reduce the operational cost of the cocoa production. You understand me? So let us, but you see, what we should actually be pushing for us is for us to have an increased voice in the determination of cocoa prices in the world. It is a combined force we use. Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire, and I think, I don't know which other West African
Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire.
Ghana, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, we formed that
so
because we are the two leading.
We are the two leading.
But now that our position has shifted, I don't know, but yeah.
No, I mean, so we should be fighting for an increased voice in the determination of some of these commodities.
Yeah.
He mentioned cocoa. gold. We are not on the table of the determination of the price of the prices of gold. Meanwhile, the Hotel London Honor, the white, the one who is there, who has not, he cannot, the person cannot even tell which one is gold or which one is not gold. Rather has influence and has a voice in the determination of that commodity. And that is what we should be looking at. That is what we should be fighting for. Absolutely. I would wish that even these prices, and could you, in 2024, it was 3,000 to 3,100 for a bag.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Now in August 2025, it appreciated
by 100.
By 100.
That is, yeah.
When it was appreciating, do not forget that we were battling with galamsey, we were battling with the quality of our cocoa beans. Yet under this storm and turbulence, they have found a way to give an increase.
But that's the same thing the actual government...
no, but I'm just saying that under this turbulence, where we are battling to deal with the quality of the cocoa beans as a result of the galamsey that we are fighting, we still manage to have an increase from the 3,100 to 3,228. And it has gone up again by 400 Ghana cedis. In the midst of all these incentives. And you see, let us not act as though we are those,
okay.
I mean, we will all agree that these farmers will not be doing Ghana good if they begin to smuggle these products.
All right.
It is not only going to affect me. It is going to affect every single one of us who are seated here. Because these are academics. They are in the classroom. They will teach. They will get their money. You understand me? And I teach them more. But at the end of the day, if the commodity industry, like the cocoa, is affected, me, myself here, my uncle in Dominacy, Bekwai, and his children are those that are going to be affected.
Okay, I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Inusa Hussein. He is a former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. He understands this very well. I'm grateful to you for joining here. Now, if you look at, Nana said something that, and the news portals that are reporting this also say that this is in reaction to Ivory Coast also increasing its producer price. Now, if you look at Ivory Coast increased its kilogram to $5. So it means that per the 64 kilogram bag, Ivory Coast is giving you 4,160, which is still 535 cedis ahead of our price. Can this really help check smuggling?
So let me say good morning to you, Cherish.
The white is a coincidence.
Yes, that too.
We didn't plan it.
But you wore yours because it was Alan's birthday. So,
mischief.
I mean, and to the professors here, I mean, when I came and listened to Professor Bodi, and I was very enthralled. Very eloquent, clearly put the matter in perspective. And that is what we want to continue. First of all, there is a general shift from the position of the MPP when they were in government to a new position. Under the MPP, they focused on the crop, cocoa, and they moved the administration of the cocoa board from the Ministry of Finance to the Ministry of Agriculture. Now, fundamentally, Ghana has always looked at cocoa as a cash crop, contributing enormously to the economy of the country. And so our general policy outlook has been to put in place policies that will ensure that we get the maximum from the cocoa sector by way of resources. Not extending farms, not doing plantations. And I'm happy that it appears that there's a reversal, and Atuforson is the one who led discussions on the cocoa sector, and particularly with the stakeholders and the cocoa board. The second thing is that the cocoa sector is faced with enormous threats. 3 or 4 years ago, not 4 years, about 5 years ago, I was in Parliament then, I still remember that the European Union warned us that our cocoa was facing significant threats of the presence of substances. Yeah. So within the trade sector and WTO rules, we call them sanitary and phytosanitary conditions. That they were threats to the sanitary and phytosanitary conditions of our cocoa, and that if we do not do something about it, we could risk being locked out of the European market. So that was a significant threat. And if just saying so reduce the premium on our cocoa, that will go to affect the price locally. So you have to take the threats that were acknowledged and appreciated and recognized by the European Union, our major trading partner, to our cocoa beans. And that would feed into the price that we buy the cocoa locally. 3, the model Ivory Coast is using is not the model that Ghana is using. Ghana's cocoa is largely driven by the private sector, smallholder farmers. So we aggregate cocoa from smallholder farmers and export. That model has served us well in the sense that at one point in time, we were the leading producers of cocoa, even though you could not find large plantations of cocoa farms. Ivory Coast is different. They have plantations. Now, government knows that producing cocoa requires a lot of inputs. Using traditional methods to produce cocoa requires some investment. So there are a lot of things that are done for the farmers that government considers to be its obligation to improve, encourage, motivate the farmer, reduce the burden on the farmer to continue to produce. That is categorized as free. But we all know that someone must bear the cost. Yes. We all know that. So in determining cocoa price, you have to input that into the cost. And see, how can you continue to provide that assistance to the cocoa farmer that will take off the burden of producing the cocoa and repose, or if you want, transfer to you the benefits of that production. So it is this metrics that helps government to determine what the producer price of cocoa should be internally. And like Prof. Bidi also said, we must all come to agree that cocoa beans from Ghana are our natural resource. Now, when farmers decide that having farmed the cocoa on our lands, they will not sell the cocoa to the cocoa board, but smuggle it outside to Côte d'Ivoire and other places because they have been driven by high prices. Yes. High prices. That will smack of lack of patriotism.
But that's been the case over the years.
That will smack of lack of patriotism. But patriotism cannot be in a vacuum. Government's obligation then is to ensure that it brings out the cocoa price and account for the pains, difficulty, and likely hazards that a farmer will go through in trying to smuggle his cocoa. So if you bring your cocoa price to the price that per ton that Ghana has indicated, and you still elect, because of Ivory Coast offers a little higher price for a ton, the moving your cocoa from Ghana and the hazards you are going to go through to send the cocoa to Ivory Coast to get that price will not compensate for what you would have gotten if you sold your cocoa in Ghana. So it's a matrix. If you take the face value of cocoa in Ivory Coast and think that cocoa is higher, 4,000.
Yeah,
I'll get
4,160.
I get 4,160.
Yeah, so you get 535 more.
So
when
you are transporting the cocoa to Ivory Coast. You're going to take a car. To get the 4,500, you need transportation. You can't transport you can't smuggle the cocoa in vehicles. You have to get people to carry. You need to pay them. If the cocoa is intercepted, is seized, it's a great risk. So in fixing the price, you have to input all the risks, the hazards that will accompany smuggling cocoa to Ivory Coast and enjoying that higher price. And even, will that be a higher price? Because there will be costs involved in transporting your cocoa from Ghana to Ivory Coast. So you might go thinking that you've gotten a higher price, but in fact, if you do a comparative analysis, you have run at a loss.
But why can't we match Ivory Coast when our cocoa is premium, and that we get some payment for the premium quality of our cocoa beans?
It's because of the things that we do for farmers.
Okay, so like the free fertilizer, you have free insecticides, free spraying machines, free fungicides, free flower inducers.
Tertiary scholarships.
And they do pruning and other things for the cocoa farmers.
I understand. You see, my problem is that...
But can you allow...
tertiary scholarships and all that. So you have to, to determine, to have a holistic picture of the net cost of production of cocoa beans in Ghana and what is the realistic price government should pay for it. You have to input in all the costs.
Then the farmers should tell you, because when the price increment came earlier in August, they said, don't worry about all of this. Give us what we are doing, we'll take care of this.
No, it's quality control.
Quality control. You can
it's quality control.
I mean, control.
Yeah, it's quality control.
Because the farmer does not understand the level of quality that is supposed to be accepted.
This is what I say.
But this is also the situation where, for example, in 2016, you remember the fertilizer diversion? I worked on a story. The fertilizers that were given to people to give to farmers, they were diverting and selling them.
I spoke about it.
Yes, but that is not. It's also a statement of intent of government to support.
Yes, just like
just like this one. Now, and there could be threats, and these are threats. Diversion is a threat to the effective implementation of
they sell them. They rebag.
So what do you do?
That's what the farmer is saying. That don't worry, give me my money.
Those factors that have been
what do you do? What do you do? It's not giving the money to the farmer.
Okay.
So there's a significant threat that greed will propel and motivate people to divert the inputs supplied to farmers. You need a robust, resilient system that takes account of the significant risks in diversion and block the channels for diversion.
Okay.
You don't say that because there's diversion, I'm throwing my hands in the air.
No, I'm only saying that the farmers say, give us the money. Wouldn't you then look at the diversion to say,
I say quality control.
Okay.
I'm a farmer and I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You see, if you don't pilot, supervise, supply the inputs, ensure that the inputs are, used in the recommended quantities and the right form, you might not get the cocoa beans that will entitle you to a premium price.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all.
No, I just want to say, I like the education coming from him on the economics of cocoa price. I like it. And I also love the education coming from Professor on that. And even those come from, I like all this. My point is that, as at the time the finance minister was going for his vetting, he knew this economics. He had this information. He had this knowledge. He knows it. He's a brainiac. He's a PhD holder. He understands this far better than me. He got it. And in fact, He was the ranking member. He also, so with all this information he had, he still promised them 6,000. Why?
It's a statement of intent.
Exactly. No, but that wasn't how, see, and that's the point. That wasn't what the cocoa farmer took it to be. You understand? For me, that's always the point. That wasn't the cocoa farmer didn't think it was a statement of intent. You are right. He was just speaking as a politician.
Yeah. No, he was speaking as a politician.
He was a statement of intent.
It was a statement of intent.
Zato, I'll let you continue. Hold on. What is the difference between the statement of intent and what?
So the statement of intent is that if you look at the factors, the production factors, the costs, you see, as Professor Wade knows, in any activity, you must try to reduce waste and improve on efficiency.
Yes.
When you do that, the combined effect is benefits.
Okay.
Now, so if you look at the value chain, what is it that, so we did that as a party, what is it that we can reduce in terms of costs to transfer the benefits to the farmer? And I'm telling you that we are on course. That's what I'm saying, it's a statement of intent.
So what did
and I like the question that probably maybe by the end of the 4th year, we should be hitting that.
That was what he said.
Okay?
Because that wasn't what he said, Honorable.
The intention of this government is to transfer the benefits of production to the farmer.
Now you play into the hands of that too.
Yes, you see, my point is that, you see, no. You see, that's what I'm saying. Politicians, sometimes we should understand that when the politicians are talking, they know what they mean. It's not by mistake. The guy knew what he meant. The guy said, I will give you 6,000 when I come. One, he didn't say I will stagger it. No. Two, he didn't say by the end of the 4 years, I would know. He said, when I become farmer, when we come to power, I will give you 6,000 cities. The farmers took that to the bank.
But their power is
it doesn't matter. He's in power. Now you have 2 times. First you came, you gave them only 100, almost 150 cities. The farmers complained and said, you've come second again. You are still woefully far from the 2,000 cities you promised them. So my point is that, did he lie to farmers?
He didn't lie.
So what happened?
Kojo,
what are the factors that drive? What are the factors that
he didn't qualify?
But you're a professor.
Yeah, I am. No. I want to take the man. Sometimes I like to take people for their words.
No.
Because I don't want to assign reasons to them. When you assign reasons to them, I want to take it for his word. I will give you 6,000 when I come. You didn't give me 6,000.
Rationality and logicality.
Thank you.
In our discussion.
You can do that. Yes, there is.
So if
the rationality is this,
yes.
Honorable. The rationality is this. I am coming for my vetting. I have all the information. I can go to Cocoa Board and say, give me whatever information I need. And you collect all that information. You consume that information. You consume it. And then you go to the legislature to meet the people's representatives in our House of Parliament. And then you tell them that having consumed all this information, having understood all this information, this is what I will do. When you do that, you have factored in the rationality you're talking about, you have factored in the comprehension you're talking about, you factored in everything. Okay. So we should then ask the question, where is the 6,000 promise?
He didn't factor in the debt that had been left by...
Why? Why didn't he do that?
Because he didn't know.
So it was the debt that...
So you have to pay the debt. You have to pay the undersupplies. You are not going to get money from somewhere to pay under.
Your argument now is that when Arthur made the promise, he didn't know about the debt.
Okay.
The extent of the debt.
That's your argument.
He knew there was a debt.
But he didn't know the extent. That's your argument.
Yes.
So if he knew the extent, he wouldn't have made that promise.
Okay.
Probably.
I thought it's no more forcing.
Because Honorable says he's part of those who are looking at the figure. So he has a lot of... But wasn't it stated in the handing over note?
It was not stated. Was it stated that we had undersupplied our contracts? Was it stated? Did you read it? It was not stated.
Okay.
And that's why it became a big issue.
Okay, thank you.
The debt of the... And you want me to refer to the debt of the... It was in the budget. How much
okay, so
left?
you look for it. Let me go to Nana. I'll come back to you. Yeah, Nana.
See, there are determinants of the prices. Let us understand that. At the time Atofosun was at the vet, it was within a certain context. There were certain indicators at certain rates. You understand me? And he made a statement based on the information he had.
Yeah.
Let me give you a simpler example. At the time, what was the dollar rate? It was about 17 Ghana cedis.
Really? In December, the dollar was 17.
During the vetting?
When was that?
January.
In January, how much was it?
I will look for it, but I'm not sure it was
17. In January, it was 17. Dollar was 17.
I'll search for it. Don't worry.
Yes.
They were living over.
When we were living over, it was about 17.
No, I don't know. I'm just asking.
That too has fallen.
You don't always know when it comes to issues like this.
I don't know. I don't know the figures. I'm telling you that it was 17. I'm looking for the clarification. Are you saying
I understand him better.
No, you don't.
That's my brother.
I'm just saying that I don't know it was 17. You are saying it was 17. When was it 17?
I said it was about 17.
Okay, so
I choose my words correct.
It was 15.3.
So it wasn't 17.
Yeah.
No, I said it was about.
15.3 is very far away from 17.
My brother, I said it was about.
It's not. That's not profit.
It's a statement of intent.
No. It's a statement of intent. If it is 16.5. So you were wrong.
It's not 17.
No, you were wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
I am not wrong.
There's no way you can say something is 50, you say it's about 17.
I am not wrong.
No. Yes, if it is about 6.5, you can say that.
I am not wrong. He has only clarified.
Yes, yeah.
That's all. So what I'm saying is that some of these indicators and factors all contributed to the mentioning of what he would have done at the moment.
6,000.
You understand me? And the economics and the finance people are here. They would make that statement they call all things be equal.
Equal.
And so if there are changes in the determinants, the factors that contribute to the pricing determination, there is nothing wrong.
No, but no, hold on.
You see,
when you were communicating to the farmer, if you are giving a promise to your child and you don't base it on a condition, you cannot then come later to use it as a condition.
The 6,000 was not
Nana, politicians always do that.
What is it?
Just a minute. Politicians always do that.
Do what?
You remember the DDF? The DDF. You remember? The first national broadcast we had on the DDF, the President Nana Akufo-Addo told all of us that there would not be haircut.
That's a good way to pivot. It's pivoting from the Coco story.
No, it's not pivoting. That was a statement
of intent.
Okay.
But
he was overridden by factors that even made him shave off the hair of people who were pensioners and foreigners.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for the pivot.
So as I'm saying, so in any case, all right, has there been an appreciation in the prices in the midst of all of these? All right. Now, have we compared the prices we are paying in Ghana to the prices that are being paid in our nearest
Ivory Coast? Yes.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Ivory Coast is paying 4,160 if you bring it to the Ghanaian city per 64 kg.
Yeah.
We are doing 3,625.
Yeah.
Now,
and I say that others will not
and
compare.
have you also taken into consideration the operational giveaways that we give to them from that which we do here in Ghana and that which they do in Côte d'Ivoire? I have lived in Sesreso, which is a 15 minutes walk to Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
You understand me? Which is a 15 minutes walk to Côte d'Ivoire, where you would have Kwame Pratt room, and just when you take a step, you are in Côte d'Ivoire. What we do for our farmers here?
Yeah, we don't do.
They do not do for
Atofosu knew all this. He said, I will give you 6,000. He knew all this.
I am grateful, gentlemen. I'm grateful.
Okay.
But I'll give you a minute.
And you see, just a quick one.
Yeah.
When he's marking scripts, when he's marking scripts,
don't bring market scripts.
When he's marking scripts, when he's marking scripts, there are times that, just a second, there are times that he wants to pass the students.
That's okay.
But at the end of the day, what they have written, they can't be
Why do you
passed.
still want to make your point when I say it's time?
Because of that.
Okay, it's fine.
So you have more money to mine.
Yes.
A statement of intent. Now, I hope the farmers are listening to this conversation. And I hope our politicians are equally listening to this conversation.
Good, yeah.
There's something on social media in recent times. A few minutes later.
Good.
Yeah.
So now when you speak, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because we say something today, they'll come a few minutes later. That's the problem now. So when you're on a platform, you are speaking, you don't have facts. I was happy when my friend said he was at the vetting committee when he said that. He didn't have the figures. We can forgive him, but the point is that he should have been careful with his pronouncing because he don't have figures. Now let me be clear here. There's something fundamental here in terms of the figures we are talking about. In fact, there was a conversation about price determination.
Yeah.
We can look at that later.
Later, yeah.
But I am sure this increment might not be because other people are increasing their prices. No, it's not because the government wants to look good, but the government at this point has been exposed. Look at the figures here, the financial summary of economic and financial data. You know, Ghana trade account, is a powerhouse of our external strength. There is a record high surplus of Ghana, our trade surplus. Now, as of the last figure, stood about 6.9 billion in August, an increment.
Dollars or cedis?
Dollars. All right. And if you check here, export boom, total export for the first 8 months in this administration stands as 17.99 billion. If you compare this to the whole year, 2024, it stood at 19.
The whole year of 2024 was 19.
19 billion. Now it's 17.
So almost 18 billion.
So there's an increment. And if you check for cocoa, because it's a broad base.
No, 17.9 was for this from January, the export year. January to August.
Yes, that's what.
Yes, and what you are giving as 19 was for the entire export year of last year. And so there was no increment. Rather,
no. He has not said so.
He's telling you that by the end of the year.
Yes. So I just want him to put it in.
That's what he's saying. We have not ended the year, and we stand now at 17. As against the whole year of 2024 of 19. Now let's look at the composition for the cocoa. Cocoa export now hit 2.4 billion in August, cocoa alone. If we take the whole year 2024, we had 1.9.
Okay.
What does it tell you?
That's more.
We are exporting more.
Yeah.
So why would you give this to cocoa?
No, but we are exporting more.
When you receive more revenue.
No, it could be a function of quantity, not price.
Not price.
No, check.
You understand?
Now check the way.
We're exporting more.
No, when you export more and the price drops. So I said in my intro, it's a composition of quantity and price that should determine how much you
right. Okay.
So if the word prices are going up,
and we are exporting more.
And I said, why should we give farmers this price?
Thank you very much.
No.
You
see, we are aggregating more.
Thank you very much.
He said,
I am grateful.
He's doing an academic.
We need to move on.
An academic.
We need to move on. Let me
Prof. This one.
Land well. Let him land well.
What do you mean to land well? Why?
This one got his time. He has landed.
He has landed.
Professor Douglas Boating says, one fundamental question to ask is, why are we selling fertilizers? Okay, this government says it is not selling fertilizers. I don't know, maybe Prof will get it back for me. Says focus should be on the processing of cocoa locally. The unfortunate reality is that cost drivers for the cocoa bean production is relatively misunderstood. Government must publish the data. Political talk globally is always a statement of intent. Okay, I'm not hearing this one.
Yeah.
I said, truth be told, if we process more cocoa locally, believe you me, we can pay the farmers far more.
Yes.
The bean.
Yes.
Cocoa marketing company.
Yes.
They should be able to add value.
So cocoa marketing company.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you process cocoa, you are getting 5 times the price at which you sell it.
And I think yesterday,
let's move on.
The value. Yeah.
Now, one thing that is related to cocoa now, not directly, but galamsey is taking its toll on cocoa. So when something happens, when you discuss cocoa and there's galamsey, we have to, relate it. We understand that 7 people have been killed in collapsed galamsey pit in a community in the Ashanti region. It's a tragic galamsey accident in the Echima Mponua district of the Ashanti region has left at least 7 people dead and several others injured after an illegal mining pit caved in at Kasotie. On Wednesday, what's the name? Kasotie, huh? Or Kasotie, in Wednesday evening. The incident, which occurred around 6 p.m., involved about 15 miners who had descended into the pit in search of gold. Eyewitnesses said the ground suddenly gave way, burying many of them alive. So that's the story. I'll start from you, because I remember when you were a minister, I joined your team to a community in the central region where the same thing had happened. There was a galamsey pit that had caved in there. I mean, from your time to today, why does it look as though we have not made any progress, but we're rather the situation is getting worse?
Because we have not been consistent in the fight against galamsey.
Okay.
And inconsistency in approach, inconsistency in outlook, and the lack of determination of what we want to do in the mining sector enables the galamseyer and emboldens him to continue to degrade.
Okay.
Governments have not also shown the requisite political will in fighting galamsey.
Okay.
Political actors have been complicit in the fight. Institutions have not been forthcoming in warning us about the dangers that galamsey or illegal mining poses to us. Our traditional authorities have failed us woefully because as custodians of the land, they have enabled the perpetuation of this heinous offense on the environment. And so it's a cocktail, a mixture of many things. And that's why I have said that we need probably to look at how we fight this canker. Okay. There is absolutely no justification for desecrating the environment, for polluting our water bodies, and for, if you want, compromising the health of the citizens of this country for gold. There is absolutely no justification. Once upon a time, the desert was a thriving forest with animals. What is it? Those animals that are now extinct.
Forces.
Huh?
Those what forces?
Yeah, I mean, patrolling the place. But the the activities of man led to what we are seeing now and calling the desert, which is now extending to countries which hitherto were forested areas. I just told you that the European Union warned us that our cocoa was facing significant threat from sanitary and phytosanitary conditions. Sanitary is the way we keep it. Is it hygienic? Do we keep it in hygienic conditions? And the hygienic conditions, we process our cocoa under hygienic conditions. Phytosanitary, do we have residue of chemicals which are hazardous to human health in our cocoa beans? So if the conditions under which you harvest and dry your cocoa are not hygienic, you will fail a sanitary condition test. If you define the presence of chemicals, you will face a phytosanitary condition, test or risk. Why is it that it appears to me that we are sacrificing an important renewable natural resource for a non-renewable natural resource with the prospects of a moral hazard? Why should we do that? Because you can continue to farm cocoa on a particular piece of land if you employ sustainable agricultural activities, okay, agronomic, sustainable agronomic conditions, you can continue on that same piece of land. But immediately you dig up the land, destroy and destabilize the conditions of the soil, it can no longer support the production of not only cocoa, but any other crop. So, and worst of it is that the galamsey that is taking place, you remember the, and doctor, you are, I don't know where you are from in the Ashanti region.
Prof.
Where? Kwewu. You remember Obuasanka?
Yeah. Obuasanka. Yeah.
Yes. It was marketed and branded Obuasanka because it was what? Sweet. Subsequent tests revealed that they had phytosanitary conditions violated. The orange itself was sucking the minerals, the hard substances that were being used by the mine company then in Obuasi, making the orange sweeter. And we were eating it thinking that.
Oh. So the sweetness was induced.
Driven not by the crop,
okay,
but by the chemicals that were being used. Wow. So you see, and when I was at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and I flew over the galamsey sites with the president then, now with John Dramani Mahama, then president, and now president.
Yeah.
And we were left in no doubt that this level of destruction cannot continue.
And this is even...
No, 2013, 2014. Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
When we went to Chicheure, and that's why I say it's a failure of institutions, failure of the people of this country, because nowhere will such an activity be allowed to occur. I mean, that is why there is a general push globally to categorize environmental crime as crime against humanity.
Oh.
Why? Because if you destroy the environment, you are destroying your life.
But as someone who had powers to deal with it, and since your time, we have moved, we have retrogressed. When you sit back and look at what you were doing and what has been happening now, you say lack of determination of what we want to do in these galamsey communities.
Yes.
Lack of political will.
Yeah.
Really, is it down to that alone, or it's just our complicity in the whole thing that has...
But our complicity is enabled by our inability to determine how we want to fight. That's the lack of complicity. So those who are engaged in galamsey, yes, no. If all the policemen go to sleep at night, you know what will happen? Criminals will have a field day. They'll have a field day because they know that at a certain time of the night, no one checks who is doing what. So as a country, we can't afford to let our policemen sleep in the night. Or if our nurses and doctors decide that they are going to work only during the day and not the night, you know what will happen to our health? The number of deaths and complications you will record from the time they close to the next time the time they go back to work will be mind-boggling. That is why we cannot be remiss in our fight against illegal mining.
But if we know the challenges, why are we not able to...
So we left a blueprint. Many things, and I like the course drivers. Now I say that many things drive galamsey. Galamsey has been there for centuries.
Yeah.
So as the name suggests, it was gather and sell. So after a heavy downpour like what happened 3 days ago, you were living in the Ashanti region, and particularly along some river tributaries, you could go and pick gold nuggets. If the gold nuggets were buried amongst the sand, you take a basket, fetch them, and sieve, and you find your gold. So you are gathering and selling. Never was it in the contemplation of the people of Ghana that excavators would be used to scoop up and destroy the soil. Never. So that is galamsey. That is why our forefathers and ancestors, and I'll say that I think that they were more intelligent, they were wiser, they were less greedy than we, the present generation.
That's what it is, less greedy.
They knew that there was water, there was gold in water bodies. Our ancestors knew. You think they didn't know? But have you heard of recorded history through traditional, oral tradition that a river body had ever been mined? Did you hear of it?
No.
No. No, it was even sacrilegious to enter a river body on certain days.
Yeah.
Because they were protecting the environment. Not that they were just protecting the environment. They knew that water is life. And if we destroy the water. But today, what do we see? I went to, there was Chechewure we went to. Around Dunkwa on a thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Where 9 miners collapsed.
Yes.
And you know, we took a trip to the river of Fin and saw chamfans, about 5 or 6 on the water body. You recall what happened? We came back and recommended the dismissal of the chief. DC. You remember? Why? Because it's an offense under the laws of this country to dredge to have bodies like chamfans on water bodies. Now, what was more alarming was that the chamfans had been marked, given numbers. It means someone was taking rent from the chamfans. Now, several years later, we are destroying chamfans all over the place, and no one is bearing the consequences. No one is being punished for that. Meanwhile, the chamfans do not, originate from nowhere.
So who should be punished for it?
Why? You think that the district police commander, you think that the district BNI commander, you think the district chief executive, you think the chiefs of that area do not know those who put the champagne on the water bodies?
So we should punish all these people?
We should hold them responsible.
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you. Yeah, Prof, come in here before I bring. Or Zato wants to continue.
No. Today,
Zato has been.
I'll give you 3 minutes.
I think that he has been converted. He will lead the fight.
I'll give you 3 minutes on it. Yeah.
The president is meeting CEOs today.
Yes.
To meet them.
CSOs.
He's meeting them to talk about the Galamsey. I applaud him for that, and I'm cheering and hoping that meeting will succeed. But before going into this, we've seen and we know the position of these CSOs. They've told us, and they've been consistent. So, this is not also the first time that these CEOs are meeting him. I have the response of the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference here. I carry it along because Galamsey means a lot to me. We know the, the low, in fact, now they are not even low-hanging troops. They are ground-lying troops. It's like shanats, we just pick them from the ground. We know the ground-lying, they tell you what, at the very minimum, what they want. They've told us they want a state of emergency. They've told us they want the law repealed. And they've told us that they want, let's completely ban surface mining for 1 year, if nothing at all, in honor of the fallen heroes who died. But that one day, that's coming from me. Let's ban it
for you. Take reference to the movement for change. You never called for a ban of.
See, I'm talking. He wants to take credit for what I'm saying. Don't take credit for what I'm saying.
Never mentioned it.
So the point I'm making is that today, if you ask anybody within the government, they will tell you that the president is the listening president. He's a listening president. He's the good president. I'm not disputing that. Today, let the president of the Republic prove to us that he is not just a hearing president, but a listening president. If you are summoning all these people to come and meet you, if you want all these people to continue to do, then tell us, prove to us that you are a listening president. And the listening president will say, if this is what you want, we shouldn't let this be another of those stage-managed events where people go sit down, drink tea with biscuits, probably have a good lunch, take photo ops, go away, then they go continue their way, and then the Galamseyers to continue what Galamseying. This meeting should be pivotal. History should record this meeting as the day things begin to change. History should record this meeting as the day that we began to take the fight for the Galamsey to where it's supposed to be. History should record this meeting as the day that we began to revive and to revive our rivers and our border bodies. Because if this doesn't happen again, then I don't see what opportunity, because we need to do this.
Yesterday, we were reporting that at the president's own Bole,
Yes. 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 Bole, yes. Bole, Gonjes. Okay, I won't talk about
These are silence.
I will talk about the
when
Gonjes.
you bring Gonjes, they become excited. So don't mention Gonjes.
I will talk about the Gonjes.
You'll be excited.
I will talk about the Gonjes again. See, small thing they've seen, they've turned their whole village Bole to Galamsey mine. Those people, okay. Come on.
I said, you brought the tactics.
I will stay.
It was a statement of intent.
A very good one.
This one is a mischievous one. This is a mischievous one.
This is a political thing.
So the point I'm making, I want history to record this meeting. And I want the president to succeed on the Galamsey. Okay. Let's do the needful. Let's do the simple things, the big things. And then we can get it. Because look, nobody wants to see our water body destroyed. Our food is getting destroyed. Everything. Let this meeting change the course of history. Let historians one day record that when all this was happening, essentially the president summoned right people, right minds with right values and right intentions, and they put the nation at first. They were patriotic, they were nationalistic, and they decided to sacrifice short-term goals for long-term gains. They decided to sacrifice the short-term high gold prices for the future of our country, for the future of the children, for the future that we hope to get. Let this meeting be recorded as having been the time when we salvaged our forest and we salvaged our river bodies. If we fail this, this meeting will also become a monumental failure of historical proportions. Let the president and the government prove to us that they are listening.
All right. Thank you very much. Professor Body, let me bring you in.
Well, World Bank tells us Ghana will lose annually about $400 million.
$400 million to
illegal mining. Over 34% the total land surface faces liquidation risk.
Yeah.
So Galamsey has become one of the Ghana's gravest governance, environmental,
failures,
economic challenges. But that's all we are saddled with. The president's engagement with civil CSOs, signals agency. I must be honest. If you stay in a village, your father is in a village, and you, the kids, are in Accra, your father gives you a call, come back to the village. There's an issue. Whatever you are doing, because it's a father, you show respect, you must go. So we urge all CSOs who are going, nobody should stay, they should go. Listen to the president. When you flip you turn the conversation to other discussions. You realize that, one, I said the signals agency. It also tells you the fight is beyond the government. It's beyond this government. But you see, it raises questions about strategy, timing, and sincerity. And I said in my intro from the beginning, now whatever you say, they'll hold you to your word.
Prof, hold on there. I don't intend cutting you, but what you're watching on your screens now is footage, or our footage is from a Galamsey site on, I'm told, a river body, but some people have been denying over some days now. Now, River BC and Subri, both tributaries of Tano River, but we understand that the MC for Tano North, Pius Opoku, had been denying all of this, but Joy News has gone in there and we are exposing illegal mining activities at Adobra BC, a small family community which hosts these water bodies. Now, the MC went upstream with chiefs in the town denying the presence of illegal mining operations in the area. But a follow-up by Joy News revealed footages of Chinese miners and their Ghanaian collaborators illegally mining and polluting River BC. These are footages from the area. Angry residents, most of them peasant farmers, are appealing for help as illegal operations deny them water for farming purposes. And this is current. if government is watching, as the president meets CSOs on illegal mining, this is what they have to go there and deal with this. Now we are told it's River Bisi and Subri, both tributaries of Tano River, and this is in Adobra, Bisi. Yeah, Prof.
So I said it shows agency, and on the other side, it shows that the government cannot fight this issue alone. So let's come together and think through. And I said there's an issue about strategy and timing and sincerity to this issue we are talking about. But I can ask several questions with this meeting. Is a dialogue a genuine policy? Is it a genuine policy dialogue? Or just a public relations move? And will the recommendations of these CSOs be shelved or be implemented? As they visit the government, they must answer all these questions.
Okay.
You know, coming back to the issue, the timing. If Ghana cannot do anything for those who we lost, the 8 Ghanaians, our ministers, we must end this fight for them.
Exactly.
If not anything, this Galam say, this administration should be able to end it.
Okay.
But the challenge is that when we keep complaining, for me, I don't have power. I don't have anything. So if we have government stakeholder, government is complaining, ministers are complaining, then what should I do?
The people,
what should I do?
Somebody with power here is complaining. What can you
I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not saying.
I demonstrated that if you joke, I will put you in.
You see, when
I took 5,000 Chinese off.
I would end this with him.
When we keep complaining,
so in 30 seconds,
who should provide solutions? We voted for you. If you want to get your ideas, fine, we can get it. We can do it for you. But let me ask this question. How long is the government going to miss all these stakeholders whilst our rivers are being polluted? Today is a 10 of CSOs. Next week will be a 10 of the chiefs. Next week will be a 10 of maybe UTAC. Next one will
UTAC is part of the CSOs.
CSOs. Okay. So I don't know the strategy. How often, the frequency.
Will this happen? Okay. All right, thank you. Now on the screens, we are running you visuals from the river itself. Earlier was the land clearing they were doing in areas close to the river where they would be parking their excavators. And this place is not even, they will be digging here because they are clearing the land and they will start mining here. But the visuals that went by of the river itself tells you the current state.
We know
of
where
River
excavators are traveling.
Yeah, this is the current state of River
It's a DCE.
And this,
do you use
this is running into tunnel.
There's a DCE.
It tells you.
There's a BNI officer.
The level of.
There's a police commander.
But that's what Honorable said. All of these people know.
Yes.
Because he's been a minister before. He knows
yes.
what runs. Anyway, so this is the current state of River BC.
What do you do?
Yeah, Nana, let me bring you in. I mean, you've just watched this.
Yes.
7 people have died in Ashanti region. What more do you want to see?
How did they die? I want to.
Oh, they went.
Caved in.
You know
They willingly.
Yeah, went into. Oh yeah.
To go and do galamsey.
Yes. And
they died.
Yes.
And you see, when
we know what you want to say. Say it.
But you know my stand on this. We shouldn't cry over that.
But Nana,
I'm sorry.
You know that this.
I'm sorry.
This underground one is what our forefathers used to do.
No.
Right?
Our forefathers never did that.
No, they never did.
What our forefathers
for
did.
small scale artisanal small scale mining, they never did that.
What our forefathers
the rock mining.
They never did that.
They never did that.
But when did the rock mining start, Honorable?
When the down under came when the large miners.
Okay, but that's been there. That's been there a long time before the pollution we are seeing.
They don't go in there. They don't. What they are doing is
But I'm saying that the underground, where you go underground, it's been there long.
Where they died
before we saw this pollution.
Where they died was not dug or left by a large-scale miner. They themselves digged that hole and went into it to do.
Yes. I'm aware of that operation because where I grew up, this was what they were doing.
What free woman? That's a way. You see DDT. you picked it and you tasted it.
Yeah.
And I should cry over it.
Oh no, we're not asking you to cry over this. We're asking you to rather cry over the water you're
Yes,
seeing.
and that is why all of us should agree with me when I keep saying we should shoot to kill.
Hey, this one.
Have you ever shot somebody before?
Try it.
Have you done it before?
Oh, they try me.
I will try it, sir.
Come to my farm
do you have a
come
gun?
and try.
Do you have a gun?
Well, you are licensed. You can be licensed to hold a gun.
Do you have one?
You can be licensed to
Do you have one?
Well,
So
don't
what
take
I'm
it
saying-
on support.
You know, you're men there, Gargo. The Simpson of Banatanga were The truth of the matter is this. If we do not do this shoot to kill thing, they would continue to go there. No, we have police. You are talking about police. We are talking about military. And your guys went and brought this footage, right? Didn't they see human beings by the river? When they were clearing it, what was the intention? They saw the excavator. What was the excavator doing there?
Yeah.
The operator, what was he doing there? So if it is a no-go area and it is a security zone, what happens when you trespass onto a security zone? Lawyer is here. Lawyer, what happens when you trespass into a security zone?
You're engaging in criminality.
They are killing us. And that is what we refuse to see. Kojo, the people who are now unable to eat kontomire, the people who are now unable to eat the cocoyam, the people who are now unable to eat the cocoa asibaire, are all being denied and their human rights are being infringed upon. Are they lie?
Oh no.
The people who are giving birth to defunct children, the people who are dying out of kidney and liver issues, please, don't they have human rights? And you, because of your greediness, you go and do galamsey on a site. And we keep saying, munyayo, munyayo, munjayo, and they refuse. What do you do? I can foka kasebi. Yes, obi fun kuma yen fumunja anameboa. But debia unfumunja obi fumakum. Into that crona also fumakum. Do you understand? Now, Kojo Jai, Kojo, when you have a child in the house, keeps playing with fire. Kojo, stop. Kojo, stop. Kojo. One day, just take the charcoal with the fire, put it there, close small.
Hey,
they're bad.
Just close it small.
Oh, you can't do that to your child, though.
Try me. And it is as a result of this, the lack of discipline.
Discipline, indiscipline, and greed.
Stop it. Stop it. They keep doing it. Why? Because when you have even arrested them doing it, you will have lawyers coming to court to defend them.
They're working. They're working.
Killing us.
Don't take food from his mouth. Don't take food away from Honorable's mouth. That's his job. You sit there.
This is not something that we should entertain.
Honorable has to work.
We waste aviation fuel. And we go over these galamsey areas and we see the people doing galamsey, and then we will take military and go and land and go and arrest them, bring them to our prisons and use the taxpayers' money to feed them. You mistakenly drop a missile.
Okay.
Mistakenly drop one and see if the people will go there again. And the boldness, the impunity, they pick their phones and they are on the galamsey sites and they will video IGP Bettier with impunity, Kojo. And sometimes it is as if they live on a different planet.
They do actually.
You do, yeah. It's called the Galamsey Plan.
You see, Kojo.
And you see, Kojo, please. If I'm wrapping up.
Yeah,
wrapping up.
Let me come to Honorable.
See, we have a responsibility as a people.
Yeah.
We push for the mindset change.
Mindset change.
We
That's what
push
I want to come to
for the mindset change.
Yes.
If we understand the fact that those people are greedy and they are killing us, and for that matter, we as a community and as a people have a responsibility to rather save our lives from the greedy I want, what is a greedy bastards? I remember the famous phrase. They will not come there again.
Okay, all right.
So I push for this shoot to kill, and I also insist, the Movement for Change, we put out a 10-pointer. One of the key issues we put out, which is very pregnant, is the ban on all small-scale mining activities. And I'm happy Lawyer Yusuf Seni is here. He's been a lands minister before.
Yeah.
When they issue a small-scale license, all right, it is for a certain designated area.
Yeah.
What they do is that those designated areas, they can even use a month to mine. They extend it into other, especially those with the big concessions, they extend it to other areas, which makes it illegal. So when we have banned the all small-scale mining activities, and then we withdraw all those licenses, then we do a forensic audit to understand those that have lost it, those that are overusing and illegally using gears.
Thank you.
You understand? So as a people, we need to be able to do this. And of course, this is the first time there has been a meeting of CSOs.
Okay, thank you.
To be able to, at first hand,
understand what needs to be done.
Understand the president should use the opportunity to tell his story. He should use the opportunity to tell the achievements that have been chalked so far. And he should use the opportunity to invite practical solutions. The CSOs, as they go, they should not go and speak English. They should profess practical solutions.
Well, I'm grateful. Yeah.
So once upon a time, there was a sweeper, a cleaner at NASA. His job was to clean. Then the journalist came and asked him what he was doing there. What was his job there? He said he was helping to put somebody on the moon. Do you see what he did? He aligned himself with the vision of the corporation that he was working. 2 days ago, I met a woman, a Ghanaian, who went for an interview outside the country and said, and I asked her, what's your portfolio in Ghana, where you work? He said, I'm a brand manager. They said, no. Well, what's your work? He said, I'm a brand manager. They said, no, you don't understand what you are doing. Go back and come back tomorrow and tell us what your work is. He said, I'm helping. When she went back, she properly understood her duty, her work, her profession, is to make sure that every person in Ghana has adequate nutrition in his meals. It's a mindset change game that we are playing, that we are trying to play. I want Professor, I'm inviting Professor Bwede. He's a professor. But what is he doing? He's training the next generation of leaders for this country.
Yeah.
What kind of leaders? Ethical leaders. Those who will be able to determine what is right and what is wrong with that supervision. That's what we want as a mindset. But be careful what you want. You said low-hanging fruits.
Yeah.
In 2017 and 2018, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo banned small-scale mining in this country.
Exactly.
I told him that he will fail, and he failed. In 2018, Ghana exported the highest quantity of gold from the small-scale mining sector. Ask me, how did it happen?
How did it happen?
It wasn't in our books.
So it means we shouldn't ban it.
But then again, no.
It means that there was no ban. And probably if you trace the level of degradation that we are having now, you will find it to that period. Why? Mining and minerals are so dangerous in terms of extraction that you need engineering to be able to do it. If you fail in engineering and an extraction strategy, you destroy the environment. That is why the EPA law, I think section 3 or so, says that any activity that impacts the environment requires a license. So we are not saying that small-scale miners should not exist. Nobody has said that.
So
indeed, in 1989, before 1989,
There was no small-scale mining in Ghana.
So, lawyer, what should happen? Because you've been there.
Okay. In 1989, PNDC law 218 made it legal and created conditions. So if people, and I'm supporting support, if people have decided that they won't take advantage of the law, go for a license and mine in accordance with the license, do you sympathize with them?
So
do you sympathize with them?
So you support that? What should we do?
We should deal with them drastically. And the decision to deal with them must not only rest with, even in the chief. If you are a chief, and now I'm saying this with confidence because the late Offenso Hene came to my office. And when we're discussing Galamsey and we're trying to build stakeholder buy-in in the fight against Galamsey, he said, Minister, me, Offenso, you can't do illegal mining. So any chief who supervises and superintends over illegal mining in his traditional area is complicit. That's what he told me. So it's possible to do it if chiefs, to bring Galamsey to an end, if chiefs have a buy-in. It's like a ruse. When they say, me the government too, me buy. When you buy, na koko na nka unananum nka motnase ema obimu esai assassino nka obedi hine.
Okay. All right.
Obedi hine. So you see, you create an impression that only government can do it. Only government can do it.
So,
government, no. Please let me.
So if you are given another chance to superintend over this ministry.
I was given a chance. Yeah. It worked for. Let me give you another story. I have done my best to serve the country, and I did it in a way that made everybody believe that I was not interested in small scale. I didn't appropriate small scale mining sites to myself. I said, I don't put me as a superintendent of a ministry and I go covet the benefits of that ministry to myself.
Yeah.
That was why I was able to fight it the way I fought it. But I have heard reports of ministers being at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources who have small-scale mines.
No, so I'm asking.
So you see, you can't be a regulator and a player in the whole thing.
He's calling for shoot to kill because he thinks that
it's not even new. The first time I heard shoot to kill was when I was minister.
So will you
so Joe Wise.
Will you propose?
Yeah,
Joe Wise was said.
And of course, that's my father.
Second deputy.
That's my father. So it's in our blood.
He said, fly aircraft over the place and shoot them.
Will you say we should do it now?
It's part of the engagements.
Okay.
You need a buy-in.
It's a collective responsibility.
Change. You need a new mental setup to deal with this situation. And that is why government is gathering the CSOs, because government cannot be everywhere. He's been referring to World Bank reports. The presence of government in this country is very limited to some specific areas. But all of us are everywhere. There is no land in this country that has no owner. How come that the owners of the land can sit down and allow their lands to be destroyed in this manner and still feign ignorance? You think that is possible? If we're going to even do surface, if we're going to plant palm trees, you just go and see the land and start planting palm trees? Will you survive? Will you survive? So people are just shirking their responsibility. Strategy, yes. Government is aware of the call to impose a state of emergency. A state of emergency is decided to create a certain condition. That the overall benefit that condition will bring to this country is to reduce or mitigate the effect of small-scale mining. Government says, yes, that state of emergency should be a last resort. So let's enforce the laws. Let's deploy the military. Let's declare some areas security zones. Let's put water gas on the water bodies. Let's arrest and punish illegal small-scale miners. Let's regulate the sector in such a way that everybody will know that illegal activities will not be tolerated in the small-scale mining sector. And when we do all that and we are not making a headway, we know we have come to our
In April, you said a delayed state of emergency could hurt Mohammed's government.
Yes, because of I said it, moral. We call it moral integrity. Okay, we had all when the CSO said declare state of emergency. I supported that. Why? Because I saw that Nana Akufo-Addo was absolutely not interested in fighting small-scale mining.
So are you still...
I chaired, listen. I chaired when he reconvened the second meeting at the conference center. I chaired the first session. And I told him and everybody that small-scale mining, illegal small-scale mining cannot be fought with half-hearted measures. I told him to give his DCE's key performance indicators and open a direct channel to his office. Because those involved in small-scale mining, illegal activities, the DCE know them. But they are powerful people. Frimpong Boateng's report confirms that. And so the DCE cannot deal with them. Open the channel. And if you are interested, when they report, act on the report.
Thank you very much. I'm coming. That Honorable is making us aware that this shoot to kill and state of emergency are on the table, are part of the discussions that will be had today.
Yeah.
So we know.
Let me just
but you mentioned blue water guards, right?
Yes.
Nana's party member, Efia Kranchiwa,
says that the Galamseyers are impregnating the women.
Galamsey are using money to get the blue water guards women pregnant.
So, you see...
can we deal with it?
Are you suggesting?
You see, Kojo,
this is what's her name?
Why are you asking Honorable?
What's her name?
Why are you bringing another to Honorable?
I've seen the blue...
Honorable.
Are you suggesting that all the blue water guards are women?
No, it's not about the women among them.
But
the women among them.
So you do a division.
So half of the force is pregnant.
No, maybe not even half of the force. What percentage of the blue water guards?
It doesn't matter.
No,
he's simply saying that. If you extrapolate your perspective,
Galamseyers are
powerful and they have money.
They have money and they're
powerful. So blue water, Mami water guards cannot stop them.
No. That's not what she said.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
she was only trying to explain how powerful they are.
They
so
are.
in dealing with them, we need to. But Honorable made a point, which is in our great transformational plan. He says that amend Article 257, Clause 6 to establish traditional authorities as co-trustees with the president in respect to all mineral rights in Ghana.
They are co-trustees already.
No. Honorable.
Why? Because the law, the constitution recognizes that traditional authorities own the surface rights.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's why we pay the royalties.
Not at all. Do you understand? You see, Minerals Commission sits in Accra.
Thank you.
Issues licenses without the involvement of our traditional authorities. So they sit in their villages and communities and they see miners there. And they have documentations and certifications to that effect without their involvement.
Someone says, I suggest we use the Air Force to do a weekly reconnaissance flight patrol over our major rivers and blast off any dredge platform found sitting on the water bodies. If these operations by the Air Force is at least sustained for a period of not less than 6 months, all such illegal Galamsey activities on the rivers will cease. He says, total ban on production and importation of dredge machines into the country for Galamsey activities. The creation of identifiable cooperative societies, societies for small-scale mining operators, so that the activities can be monitored and controlled through their leaders for sustainable mining practices. Recruitment of many young mining, geological, and mineral engineering graduates into the Minerals Commission offices in the various districts and allocated to the small-scale mining cooperative associations to guide and support sustainable mining. National service graduates from the mining and environmental engineering tertiary institutions could be utilized every year for this exercise as well. Those community mining concessions could be depoliticized from, and properly controlled by such cooperative societies aided by these young mining and mineral engineers recruited into MINCOM for those purposes. And this is someone who is deep in the mining industry.
He just summarized the legal regime under the existing law. That's the legal regime under But our refusal to follow the legal regime is what has brought us.
Now, finally, GES has also suspended another person for sexual misconduct. I don't know if you know about it. Now it says the management of Ghana Education Service has taken note of a disturbing video circulating on social media, allegedly involving Mr. MFO Richard Tipeto, a teacher at Okaja Krom Senior High Technical School in the Jar Second Municipality of the Oti region, in an act of sexual misconduct with a female student. Says management of GES finds the conduct unacceptable, unethical, and a clear violation of the Professional Code of Conduct for Teachers. Hence, Mr. Tipeto has already been interdicted, prohibited from entering the school premises, pending further investigations into the matter. The GES assures parents, guardians, and the general public that the safety and protection of all students remain our topmost priority. Any teacher found culpable of act that compromises the dignity and well-being of students will face the full rigors of the law in accordance with the GES Code of Conduct. I'm just giving a minute each. Nana, let me start from you. Nana Sapon, this will be the final thing. This is the second time we're hearing this in just a few weeks.
I personally would not blame the teachers.
I mean, you remember this is coming after the KNUSA as the headmaster.
The way they conduct themselves. I believe that the children, the students themselves, have been a contributing factor. See, the teachers who have been involved in this have been irresponsible. We call a spade a spade. But what are we doing as a people towards the irresponsibility attitudes of our children? These things started coming up when we withdrew this corporal punishment thing from our schools. And it changed the attitudes of students.
Really? When teachers are taking advantage?
So hold on. It changed the attitudes of students. And their irresponsibility enabled the teachers to be more irresponsible.
Really?
And I'll give you an example.
The responsibility of students enabling the responsibility of teachers?
Yes. The teachers have acted irresponsibly. I've stated that it's a fact. So let me give you an example. Like UPSA's issue that is happening when they were dragging students out. I applauded the authorities. We need to instill some level of student discipline in our schools.
Okay, all right.
For the teachers, I mean, no matter how much an irresponsible student will be,
I'll give you a minute.
You need to be able to be matured enough to handle yourself.
Okay, all right.
But then, let us use this as an opportunity to deal with the level of irresponsibility of the students. You know, I mean, how on earth do even students now even want to use phones in class?
But why is the focus not on the teacher? The teacher should know better.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the student is a kid.
Their irresponsibility should not allow the teacher to do what they are doing. But let us deal with the matter fundamentally.
Okay, I hear. Let me come to you, Prof, a minute, and then we will wrap up.
Yes, I beg to differ. I mean, in terms of my submission on your last topic, rather end on the Galamsey. So I'll give the...
okay. All right.
But that's a quick one.
On Galamsey?
No, just my comment on...
On this one?
Yeah. Not on this particular one.
But on which one?
On the Galamsey issue.
Would you inundate this?
The issue has been about...
Which issue?
I hope... I don't know what on the issue of education. Yes. We've talked on several grounds about this. It's becoming one too many. Teachers must be disciplined. But when kids are brought into our schools, they give to them, the students to us, for us to take care of them. We shape their future. We shape the course of their life. And that's what we are there to do.
Okay.
So some issues like this should not be mentioned, even at this stage.
Okay.
Where we are going as a country.
All right, I hear. Dr. Zato?
I like the fact that the GES is not trying to sweep these things under the cupboard. I like the fact that in the gender ministry has also even tried to intervene in this, and that is good. Discipline and indiscipline as cornerstones of teaching and learning are very important. And I think that whenever we have this, especially children, when they're in school, they are the most vulnerable. should do that. And talking about the bigger role of teachers and everything, this morning I want to wish Miss, what's her name? Mercy Nyame. Mercy Nyame is the NDC constituency women organizer for Sisala East. Today is her birthday. Mercy, I want to wish you a happy birthday. She's a very good and dedicated and committed teacher. She's good for the job she does. She worked very hard for the NDCU, but I yet to give her an appointment. She hasn't got anything yet. But I hope hers is coming. I want to wish you a happy birthday, Mercy. I also want to wish Nana Kwesi Award, the former MD for...
Boss?
What is now Gold Board?
Nana Kwesi PMMC, Lawyer Kwesi
Lawyer Kwesi
okay.
Today is your birthday, lawyer. Happy birthday to you. You're a great man, a wonderful person. God bless you. God continue to protect your life. And every day... And today is Juma. I want to also wish you Juma Mubarak. And I pray that the good Lord will accept our prayers. And that when you go to the mosque, pray that the president succeed in his meeting with the CSO. They didn't invite me. They been invited.
Prayers for the president is not limited to Fridays. I pray for him every day.
Let me
so you see, for me, I once a teacher. I will always be a teacher. I say without any fear of hesitation. If you are a teacher and you exploit your students, you are not fit to be a teacher. Because the relationship between a teacher and a student is that of a guardian and a pupil. So if you exploit, then you ought to be, if you are a man, you ought to be castrated. Because you see, if you are looking at the people as somebody's daughter, I ask a question. Will you be happy if your own daughter is exploited that way? Will you be happy?
Discipline.
So there's no justification whatsoever for a teacher to engage in that activity. Even if you are drawn to a child through provocative dressing, always remember that you might have a child, a sister, an auntie, just like the people. Will you like that auntie, that child, that sister of yours to be exploited that way? It's just total betrayal of trust. And that must be condemned.
Okay. So a chief is supporting you. He says, solution to halting galamsey in a day. 1, government should budget $250 million. 2, go to OPEMSWO, the National and Regional House of Chiefs, donate $100 million to OPEMSWO, and distribute the remaining $150 million pro rata to the members of the National and Regional House of Chiefs within the galamsey zones. 4, the chiefs in the heart of the galamsey zone shall make libations to repel and hold galamseys from their lands. He says, Honorable Fuseni has hit the nail right on the head. The galamsey menace can only be stopped by the chiefs. And he says it's that simple. Please note, OPEMSWO has 70 paramountcies under his command. Nana AAA brought this one in. Interesting viewpoint there. Yes.
We can also invite some few religious issues. One, if you are, you see, most of the licenses, I'm wrapping up. Most of the licenses
You've wrapped up.
Were issued.
Nana, you've wrapped up.
This one says, happy birthday to my former boss, Alan John.
You've wrapped up.
Kwajo Chiramantin, may he live long in good health and prosperity to experience the glorious presidency of Dr. Baumia in January 2029.
Which president?
Blessings. Manche Bruce.
Tell Professor Manche Bruce.
Inshallah. He's not telling
Tell
anybody.
Professor Manche
He's not telling
Bruce.
anybody anything.
That's it.
And I knew it is a text you read last.
Not tell. Yes.
Grateful to you, Professor.
I knew you read Manche Bruce text last.
To you, Dr. Joshua Zato is a policy analyst and lecturer at University of Ghana. Nanaya Osapon is with the Movement for Change, and Alhaji Yunus Afuseni is former MP for Tamale and former minister as well. The AM show is sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. Now, Ghana, let's talk water tanks. Do you know the secret to real water storage? It's simple. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. That's right. The tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is a champion of water tanks. It is strong, durable, and built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has your back. So go outside, check your water tank, and if it doesn't have a tortoise on it, it's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex Tank family today and enjoy water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call 0244 335168. 0244 335168 to buy now or find one of our 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com today. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. There's more to come here on the AM show. You stay with us.
And of course, it's the first Friday of the month. First time I'm seeing you in the month of October. I'm excited to see you. I don't know if you are excited to see me, but it would feel nice if you do. Anywho, you're welcome to the show. Of course, it's E-Corner with yours truly, Noella Caraniali. September went by real quick, real fast. Not too soon, October is here. We're literally, I think, a month away from December. Time is really running, you know. Tag along it and let's see what we can do with a month, right? Let's see whether we're gonna get more money, more something. I don't know. Whatever you wish for yourself, I wish more for you. Okay. But this is E-Corner. My name is Noella Caraniali. Right after this, we get sipping. Okay. Get your teacups ready. All right, so you're welcome back to the show. And I want us to dive right in because the tea is piping hot. And when it's hot, it's best to sip it. So if you have any, you know, whatever happening around your throat, it clears it out for you. So let's talk about, first of all, so I'm going to talk about a story which will be like a sequel to what we've been doing in the last two, okay, let me not say sequel, but like something to just complete the story, okay? So you know that in the last 2 weeks, we've talked about the current government, you know, honoring some cultural ambassadors with diplomatic passport. Last 2 weeks, we had a conversation with two of them, Anita Erskine and Rocky Dawuni. But of course, apart from them, there's Denta, there's Rudy Maya, there's Ibrahim Mahama, who's an artist. And there's one other person I think I'm missing. Oh, no, I'm not. Actually, it's just 5 of them. And at the time, it was announced, okay? And so the intention by the government was announced by the foreign minister, but they had not physically gotten a hold of those diplomatic passports. But this week, the foreign minister made that happen. And the pictures you're seeing on your screens are literally from the meeting they had where those diplomatic passports were presented to them. I'm wishing I'm in their shoes right now because, I mean, it would do a lot for me. I would go places, or one of the places I really want to travel to, for instance, is Japan. I want to visit Japan. I want to visit Korea. I'm really, really fascinated by their culture. And so for me, I really want to visit these places. And with a diplomatic passport, I can even go anywhere, including Iceland, right? But anyway, congratulations to them. We love it. And we'll be keeping our eyes and tabs on them to really see how they go by this honor and this responsibility they have to, you know, propagate the Ghanaian cultural narrative on the globe. So yeah, I'll be having my eyes and ears on them. Hopefully they do all of us proud. Away from that, let's talk about the biggest event that happened last week. I'm talking about rapper Sarkodie's Rapperholic, the homecoming edition. It was live in Kumasi, where he hails from. And listen, the only word I can think about to describe what happened last week was craziness, madness, a lot of love, a lot of show of support. I mean, look at the numbers. It's crazy. And we're learning. I mean, obviously, as Ghanaians as we are, we'll always find a fault with something. So after the event, a lot of people had loads to say about how the event wasn't organized well. There were a lot of glitches here and there whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I am choosing to look at it from a positive, you know, place or perspective. Look at the numbers. Look at it. Crazy. performances, Obrafo on stage, Shatta Wale. I have a theory about Shatta and Sarkodie's, relationship, and I'm going to tell you about it. But first, let's see highlights from how the event, panned out.
Come on, my swag, they might be me a cocoa. As I teach you, yes, yes. Come on, don't put me, I want to, that's I want to. Oh, I will tell me about it. Me, I'm beat, boy, and sorry, I'm a pass. They see till I can't pull say, they see till I can't pull say, fear me, walk, what's on, and I'm easy now. So when I say, collect on a mini yard on my body to shut hey! Let's talk about it. Get into the good is our shadow. When it's my Jimmy, you are quite to. Remember, send the pen to Wasaba to tell the witch in the back on the boat. What's it there? One, two, three, what's it there? Go home, mommy. Hey, go home. He's the way you would be in the honor. Can you hear this song? If you hear this song, just a kick some no time, my brother, we gone. You know, you're never go no more. But if you waste time for no pagan brothers. Kumasi, thank you so much. See you next year. God bless you.
Now, man, Kumasi. Because of Kumasi, I'm switching career. I'm going to do music. And when I perform, my director says, hey, and when I decide to do a concert, I would always want to, organize it in Kumasi because the show of love and support. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. I don't know about you, but I find it very beautiful. Anywho, I want to specifically also talk about his performance with Shatta. And away from that, his relationship with Shatta. I think I have a theory. I think these guys, they know what they're doing. Oftentimes when they make it seem like you're beefing and all of that, I feel like maybe it's to really, generate some buzz around them in the industry because for the longest of time, Shatta has been lambasting Sarkodie and Sarkodie DBA, premium proper, no scanning, Masao brain. Hey, look at them performing so beautifully, as if, and not even that, he supported the entire concert with Shaxi. He decided to, those who, traveled from wherever they want to come from to the Baba Yara Stadium, they used Shaxi. So, I mean, when you look at it and you look at what they've been doing on social media, from henceforth, I mean, I'm not doing any beef between Shatta Wale and Sarkodie again because I know they're just pretending. But anyway, I mean, congratulations to Sarkodie. Great, 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 great event. Congratulations to Nabil as well. And of course, he says next year he's going to go back to Kumasi with another edition. So it's safe to say it has come to stay. We now have 2 rapaholics, one in Kumasi and one in Accra. Depending on where you're at, you get to tap into the fun, right? Anywho, let's do Grammys now because I've got some exciting news to share with you. 2 of our musicians, I'm talking Shatta Wale and Episode, for their respective songs, Choboy by Episode and Street Crown by Shatta, has been, it has been recognized, I should say, for a Grammy nomination. Not nominated, because I saw a lot of people, you know, put out comments on social media, oh, finally, thank God, finally, you know, he's been nominated. Well, no, he has been, you know, recognized. And it's still a big deal. And I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal pretty shortly. But in case you do not know the respective songs for which they have gotten a Grammy recognition or consideration, I should say, let's take a look at first Episode's Choboy song. It's a beautiful song. Listen. I mean, it's a beautiful, conscious song. You should listen. You should look out for the lyrics. I mean, it talks about economic issues, galamsey. It's a conscious song. It's beautiful, and it has been considered by the Grammys. And like I said, I'm going to tell you pretty shortly why this is a big deal. But let's take a look at Street Crown on my head. I'm standing real. My voice. Oh my God, my singing voice. Oh, hey, everybody. But that is a beautiful song as well. I'm not surprised it has been considered by the Grammy. What does it mean for a musician's song to be considered by the Grammys? Well, it officially means that his work has been accepted and listed in the for your consideration ballot. Well, not entirely, but it means that Grammy has recognized it for a screening process, okay? So just like how VGA or TGMAs, I should say, would want to ask musicians to submit their works. So the first stage is you submit it and then they take a look. It's like it gets into a pool of, you know, works, which they screen, okay, and then decide whether or not to now choose which of the songs to give a nomination for. So that's just what it means. But there are stages, okay? So the first stage is to submit your work. And that can be done by the artist themselves or the label. Submit the work or your songs for possible nomination. And then the second stage is the screening process, okay? Where the Academy checks if your song meets their criteria, their eligibility criteria, in terms of dates, it was released, lyrics, production quality, all of that. They're going to screen it and check if it fits their criteria. The third step is the consideration, where the work is now in the pool and can now be voted. So it's like, okay, Shatta sends his work, Sarkodie sends his work, Episode sends his work. Now we're looking for African, and obviously other artists from other African countries too will send their work. So now we're looking for best African musician. Let's now screen them. And so they're going to deliberate on that and then choose, okay, we think Shatta Wale did it best. And so Shatta Wale gets the nomination, which brings me to the fourth stage, which is the nomination, where you are officially announced, given the nomination and announced as well. And then the last bit would be the voting process. And eventually, if your fans love you that well and they vote that massively, you get to win, okay? But do not downplay the fact that, yeah, he's been considered. Some people may think, oh, consideration, they send you a nomination. It's a big deal because what that means is that you are on the radar of the Grammy Academy, voting academy or institution for global, you know, appeal, if you get what I mean. So it's a big deal, and we're happy that finally, you know, Grammy in Framano, Boba Ghana, kakra. We love it. We love it. We really love it. And so, yeah, congratulations to Episode and Shatta Wale. Fingers crossed, one of them gets a nomination for Ghana. I will be really, really happy, and I'm sure you will as well. Let's now talk about Kitty, because Kitty came by the Hits FM studio this week to have conversations, you know, beautiful conversations with Doreen Avio and Kwame Datsi on the morning show. They spoke at length on a plethora of issues, including the fact that Kitty believes that after 10 years in the industry, he has realized that the Ghanaian music industry is non-existent. There's no industry. And he explains why. Listen.
That's this, our industry does that. But from where I sit, we do not have an industry. Yeah.
Oh, let me hear it well. Let me put on the headset.
Let me wear my headset. Kidding.
It's not. It's facts because like you said, no, like it's there, like Ghana music industry, but we don't have the structures that make us an industry
at all. We don't have at all.
Mirage. We're just everybody's just floating, doing their best with what they have, with the resources available to them, finding ways and places to put themselves and graduate themselves and grow. But the structures that form, and that's what you said, we get to a place and then it's like a house, a family. The parents have kids. The kids graduate from uni. The whole concept is, oh, they are sure we're into the but we're uni, no. I think that would be rare, and that's when he even needs like support. But it's set up in a way that one man for himself. You have to do what you can with what you have. We don't have. You cannot. After 10 years of all the hits Kiddy has, if we have structures, I should be a mega superstar. But we're still growing day by day because it's one man for him. So you have to fend for yourself. You and your team have to find ways and means to get funding, to get videos, to do this, to do that, because the point blank fact is there. We do not have structures that make us an industry.
What are these structures you're talking about?
We know it. We don't have royalty collection. Like, I don't want to get into technicalities because I'm not a technical person, but
So yeah, that's Kitty. Well, he isn't the only person singing this chorus. Obibini, the rapper, also, said that he believes cabal runs the industry and that the industry is very fake. Gloria Safo did the same, spoke about how there's no love. A lot of people criticize her for being so passionate about her advocacy for the industry, but she's not giving up anytime soon. She's going to fight not for her colleagues or even herself, but for the next generation of actors and actresses. And I think that's a very selfless thing to do. So yeah, that's the stories we have for you. I would have loved to go on and on and on and on and serve you with more tea, like I would always love to, but yeah, they're screaming in my ear, get off the television, so I'm going to get off and make way for Mami Esi Thompson to come in with my director says he didn't say it like that. So yeah, there you have it. Mami Esi Thompson is up next with Joy News Desk. I'm Noella Karaniali. Have a beautiful month and a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.